Hey there, guys, and welcome back to a brand new Flick Pick live show. And we're in dark times, but that's okay because you guys can look at my stupid face for the next couple hours. We'll talk about movies and especially delayed movies. And I might have an inside scoop for you guys that I heard just like 10 minutes ago from a good friend of mine. But yeah, first and foremost, how are you guys doing? I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're self-quarantining yourself into your houses because the zombie apocalypse is now, or at least that's how I'm looking at it, because when times are dark, you at least have to find the humor somewhere, and that's, I don't know. You know, whoever thought this was going to happen, right? It's just crazy and bizarre, but hey, you know, with the advent of technology and the internet, we can all come together and talk about things that are really important, such as the delayed newest Disney movies. But first, before we dive into the questions, the Q&A, and the news topics, I first want to take a moment and praise the toilet paper gods. Okay, and with that, we can dive into the news topics. Yeah, it's been a long day. Before we do that, real big thanks to Gabe Esker. Man, you're killing it with the super chats, Gabe. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for the support. I will answer your questions in just a few minutes, but thank you guys for all the super chats thus far, and we will dive into those in just a few seconds. But yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I'm ready to go. You know, this is what YouTube was made for. This is what I love doing the most. We can engage, we can talk, and there's no pre-recorded video. We'll do it live. Whatever happens, and it's just gonna be here forever. I have no shame. So, all right. Yeah, thank you for the comments. Yeah, all right. So the first thing I want to talk about real quick is the big news right now. Is the newest delayed movie thus far from Disney after Mulan is going to be Black Widow. Don't act too shocked right now because I'm not at all. I knew this was coming, and you can rest assured every major release is probably going to be delayed. If it was supposed to come out in the next 3 months, I have bad news for you. It's not happening. But there is some good news I will talk about in just 1 second. But it's crazy. So every movie's being delayed. You had No Time to Die, the new James Bond flick, and then we had New Mutants, then we had Mulan, then we had A Quiet Place 2, and I was looking forward to all of those movies. And by the way, New Mutants just can't catch a break, can it? It'll come out in the year 2059. But yeah, the big thing going on right now is thanks to Universal with VOD, we might actually be able to see these movies because theaters are shutting down and every movie's delayed. So even if it wasn't delayed, the theater isn't going to be open to go see it. Ironically enough, though, my local gym is open where you can lay down on other people's sweats of or pools of sweat, but the movie theater's closed. The logic doesn't make any sense to me, but anyway, with VOD, Universal's releasing movies like The Invisible Man. They're releasing The Hunt, which I never got a chance to see, and that might be coming out this upcoming Friday on VOD, which is really cool. Now, they're probably going to cost around $20, but hey, I'll take what I can get. And, if you have a family of 3 or 4 people, it's still cheaper than going to the movie theater, or at least, and plus we're all stuck at home. I think this is a smart move from the theaters. I think a lot of major releases should be released on VOD. Now with piracy and things like that, I get why they're holding back and they don't quite want to go that route just yet. And I think some studios are just waiting and seeing what's going to happen over the next 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe the next month. In my opinion, it's always darkest just before the dawn. And the dawn is coming. But I think things are going to get worse. I think shutdowns are going to last a little bit longer. And I don't think big public gatherings are going to happen anytime soon, especially with movie theaters. So I think watching things at home and being entertained at home is the smartest route to go. If I was a movie studio, I would have released my movie at home and I would just charge a decent amount for it. And if you really wanted to watch it, you'd probably pay to watch it. And what I would like everyone to do is if movies are... if they ever do get released on VOD, like big tentpole films, please, guys, don't pirate these movies. Don't rip them off. If it's a movie you truly want to see, support this. And guess what? You won't have to leave your house. You can just watch all these big new releases at home in the comfort and sanctity of your home, covered in Germ-X, playing with toilet paper, whatever you want to do. That's what I'm going to be doing. And eating frozen pizzas into the new apocalyptic wasteland. Leave the movies, and I will spare your lives. All right, guys. I guess I could give you guys my big scoop. If you want the big scoop, let me know. I will tell you, or give the video a thumbs up, which does help that stupid YouTube algorithm because YouTube, it hates me, and we are sort of in another apocalyptic wasteland right now. So that little thumbs up you can do really does help me. That's all. That's all I really ask for. That, and you guys look at me for the next maybe hour, 2 hours. Sometimes we do this for 3 hours. It just depends how much caffeine I have and how great the questions are. But yeah, I will give you guys. I'm gonna give you guys the inside scoop in just 1 second. It's pretty good. I think you're going to like it. So Gabe Esker's super chat question, and thank you, Gabe, for the awesome super chat. That really does help a lot in these this time, especially with paying the internet bill. So thank you. That way I can make more live streams, and I love making these, and I'm going to try to make more. I did one just a few days ago, so I want to try to do at least 2 live streams a week, because if you can't go outside, why not stay home and watch your friendly neighborhood flick pick? All right, guys. So I know you're a Jake Gyllenhaal fan. Have you watched the 2013 movie Enemy, and what are your thoughts? I watched Chris Stuckman's analysis of the film years ago. What started me watching you and others on YouTube about movies? Oh, wow. Thanks, man. Thank you for that, Gabe. Yeah, I have seen Enemy. I didn't love it. You know, when it comes to Jake Gyllenhaal, I much prefer my favorite film of all time, Nightcrawler. Steady hands, steady hands. Put Germ-X on those steady hands. But yeah, I'd never loved Enemy. I thought I got the symbolism. I got the deep meaning. It sort of had the art house thinking man vibe. But at other times, it felt just an incy bitchy. It felt a little bit pretentious. I didn't love the film. But I'm glad you did, and I'm glad you started watching people on YouTube, man. So thank you for that. So thank you, Gabe. You're pretty awesome. All right, the next one comes from another one from Gabe. Forgot to mention first time super chat and thanks. Well, thank you, Gabe. Thank you, guys. You're too kind, honestly. With all these super chats, I will be able to buy an 8-ounce bottle of Germ-X on the black market. So thank you for that. You guys spared my life for another day. I really do appreciate it, guys, and I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys found toilet paper and stocked up on what you guys needed to stay inside for the next couple weeks. But don't worry, it's okay. Don't get afraid. We're not gonna run out of things. You know, they're still making toilet paper. I promise you. It's just all the crazy people are hoarding it up and stocking it, and it's just like we're gonna run out of food before we run out of toilet paper. I assure you. So you won't have any need to wipe your ass. Damn5271. Hello, John. My question is it us against the system still? Yeah, it was never about the money. It was about us against the system, showing that the human spirit is still alive while everyone else inches down the freeways in their metal coffins. Absolutely. That's a Point Break reference, if you've never heard it, so you don't think I'm utterly insane. But yeah, you know, do I want to get into conspiracy theories? I don't know. I need to put my tinfoil hat on and maybe dive into that. I kind of want to keep it light and fluffy and talk about the movie news. But yeah, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on the delayed movies, the VOD movies, Black Widow being delayed, and I think it's the first of many more to come. So if you were looking forward to movies like Tenet coming out, which I definitely was, that's probably being delayed. Every summer movie will be delayed, I assure you. But I do want to give you guys this really juicy inside scoop that I just found out about from a good friend that I went to school with many, many years ago, who do work in the movie biz in Hollywood. Black Widow seems like a movie that could have just been streamed. I don't see a need for a theatrical experience for that. Yeah, you know, I wanted to see it in the theater. I mean, of course, obviously, I want to see movies in the theater, but at the same time, I think everyone's safety is more important. And if we can watch these movies at home with VOD, why not do it? This could open up the floodgates to watch new films at home. And if the studios get enough money and people don't pirate the movies, this could be a new way of life. And but the unfortunate thing with that, there's always a flip side, right? The negative side with that is I think movie theaters would shut down, which movie theaters to me are sort of like a cathartic place. They're where I go to escape reality, except for nowadays reality is creeping into the movie theaters. And what I mean by that is I used to be able to go to the movie theater and completely immerse and escape and have awesome surround sound with a 50-foot screen in front of me, eating overpriced popcorn and drinking my diet Coke with 3 ice cubes, no more, no less, but even though they put like 87 ice cubes in there. And eating my Sour Patch Kids that I snuck in from the dollar store that are nice and warm and gushy in my pocket, and I eat them throughout the movie. But what slowly happened was people ruined the movie theater, just like they ruin everything, right? So you had people coming in there texting, talking, just not respecting other people's viewing experience, and that immersiveness slowly faded away. So now, if I can watch movies at home on my couch, not wearing any pants, that sort of is my preferred method nowadays. And I think if studios release these films and they do well and they make enough money and they don't have to pay for the marketing to put them in theaters and do all the hassle and split the profit with the theaters will definitely close, but we'll be able to watch the movies in the comfort of our home. So which one would you guys prefer? Would you still like the movie theater experience, even with all the bullshit you have to deal with? Or would you like to watch movies in the comfort of your living room and say bye to movie theaters? Sort of a hard thing, right? But I think right now, this summer, that's what should be done. I think movies should be released on VOD for people to watch. Don't delay these movies for 6 months to a year. I mean, Fast and Furious is delayed until next year. Next April. That's insane. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's truly going to be delayed that long. I think they might give in to releasing it based on what Universal's doing with The Invisible Man and The Hunt. Rip movie theaters 2020. Yeah, rip a lot of things 2020. Beach Bum 0331. Are you strapped, John? Do you own any guns? I thought about that the other day. I own 2 guns. This one and this one. How many people are cringing right now? No, I don't. What I plan on doing, though, is making a spear or maybe a harpoon out of butter knives and a hockey stick. That's going to be my defense mechanism. That, or you just act like you're infected, right? If someone breaks in your house, you just start sneezing all over the place. They're going to leave. Or just throw the toilet paper at them and they'll get the hell out of there. All right, let's keep going on here. I'm reading you some of your questions here, trying to catch up with the chat. Will you be checking out Spawn, Mortal Kombat 11? Oh, will I check out Spawn and Mortal Kombat 11? I don't really play games right now. I know Spawn was one of the new characters they released in Mortal Kombat. Probably not, but speaking of both those characters, or Mortal Kombat and Spawn, I'm looking forward to the new Mortal Kombat movie, and they're making a new Spawn movie where Jamie Foxx is attached currently. So that would be pretty awesome. By the way, the original Spawn from 1995 is sort of a guilty pleasure of mine. It's an atrocious, terrible movie with some of the worst CG you'll ever see in the last 10 minutes of that movie, but I secretly enjoy it. Maybe that's because I saw it in theaters as a kid. All right. These are fun. Well, thanks, man. All right. Movie theaters is my stress reliever. Yeah, movie theaters used to be my stress reliever before they became one of the most stressful situations I've put myself in the last 15 years. I just feel like people ruin movie theaters now. Every time I go to see a new movie, I'm sitting there in the theater, and I'm just like, okay, what's going to ruin this experience for me? And then 5 minutes into the movie, you always see that one person come in with a crying baby. Then you have the other guy beside you texting. And then you have the guy beside you kicking your chair. Then you have the teenage girls in front of you talking. And then I remember I went to see Avengers Endgame, and it was a packed theater. And every time I go to see a movie I'm truly wanting to see, it's always my most anticipated movie of the year. There's always something that ruins it. And in Avengers Endgame, I sat beside this guy. Nice enough guy, right? He's quiet. He's not talking. But he has a really bad case of gingivitis. And his breath smells like something crawled in his mouth and died. I sat there and smelled death for about 3 hours. And it was hard to enjoy the movie. So Ugh. Carter Lovejoy, thanks for the super chat, man. Is this the beginning of the zombie apocalypse? In my head, I like to pretend it is. At least that sounds fun, rather than just some kind of pandemic going around that's a flu-like symptoms that you know, it's probably not. But you know, the thing about the zombie apocalypse compared to this, it's easier to survive the zombie apocalypse and not be infected. Like, you see a zombie, you run the other direction. Just don't get bit by the zombie. You'll be okay. In this pandemic, you can't go anywhere. If someone sneezes in a 10-foot radius of you, you're probably going to catch it. So in the zombie apocalypse, you'd have a better chance of not getting infected. I mean, of course, becoming a zombie, you know, would probably suck a little bit more. But then again, I don't know. I'm pretty much treating like everyone that, when I go out into society right now, I'm treating everyone like they are a zombie and they're going to bite me in the neck. That's what I'm doing right now. Colin. Hey, John, it's me again. Did you watch The Guest? Hey, Colin. I see you. Yeah, I've seen The Guest. I saw that movie when it originally came out. I liked it. I liked the throwback vibes. I liked the 80s electronic synth music in that movie. Yeah, I dug it. And it had a lot of... It sort of reminded me of like the movie Drive a little bit, but like a cheaper version of that movie that wanted to be a horror film. Akil M. Thanks for the super chat, Akil. Thank you, man. Dan5271. Hello, John. My question is it us? Oh, I already answered that. I'm silly. Hi, I am Wee Todd Dead. The craziest name I've ever read. What's up, John? Give me a movie right now to watch. I'll give you 3 movies. You can watch Parasite. You can watch Lighthouse. Or you can watch Uncut Gems. There you go. There's 3 movies you can watch. By the way, I will be doing a special movie night for Parasite, so look out for that, guys. I have a really cool LG projector that they sent my way. It's super awesome. Yeah, I'm going to do a movie night with that. And the good news is we can all do movie nights because the theaters are no longer open. So, yeah, I'll be making that video soon. All right. Whoa. Patrick John, man. Thank you for the super chat. Fuck, Patrick. Thank you, man. Patrick John. Buy yourself something nice. I can't deny how serious the CV situation is, but if a full apocalypse breaks out, I can't be mad. I mean, wandering the wastelands with a backpack full of Blu-rays and a mixtape full of awesome music like I'm Star-Lord sounds pretty awesome. Yeah, you know, it sounds pretty cool. The only downside is I don't some days I just like to lay on the couch watching Disney Plus. And if the post-apocalyptic wastelands do happen, we won't have internet, and I can no longer be that lazy some days. So, yeah, scavenging outside for like a can of beans, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that every day. It just really depends. I don't know. Then again, I'm running out of stuff to watch on Disney Plus. So that could, I don't know. But thank you, Patrick. Thank you for that. Yeah, if you have the backpack full of Blu-rays, just keep in mind you're going to have to carry around a generator that weighs 300 pounds to plug in that 4K TV to watch those Blu-rays. All right. You know what I need? I need a portable Blu-ray player that's solar powered. Where is that? Where can I buy that? I think that's what we need. Roberto Plazinska. You guys know I can't read. Ever watched Revenge of Carly Farragut? It does not ring a bell off the top of my head, man. Corley Farragut. What is this? Was born and raised in Paris. She studied the French cinema school, La Femes, where she was chosen to participate in script writing. Her work suddenly filmmakers such as Cronenberg and Lynch. Huh, sounds interesting. I have not seen that. Sounds intriguing. All right, guys. Sorry, I will get to every question. You guys are just killing it right now. I'm trying to keep up. Bear with me. Yes, yeah, I did mention that inside scoop. I will mention it in just 1 second as soon as I catch up on these. Randall Commando 41, thanks for the super chat. What movie changed your life? Be honest, don't say over the top. What movie changed my life? I remember, you guys could probably guess this answer, but I remember seeing Batman Begins back in 2005, and that was sort of the movie that re-energized me to look at movies a different way. I've always liked movies growing up. I've always enjoyed movies. I've always went to the movie theater. But something about watching Batman Begins, it opened up my eyes a little bit wider to just how impactful films really are. Because I remember watching it and just feel like it giving me chills down my spine and thinking, this is like the ultimate movie. This is everything I've ever wanted to see in a movie, and I'm watching it right now and experiencing it. And it gave me all those little goosebumps. So that, I would say Batman Begins sort of inspired me to look at movies a different way, thus making a YouTube channel 5 years after that. So yeah. Ryan O'Toole, favorite Game of Thrones moment. Thank you for the super chat, Ryan. I would say probably Battle of the Bastards, where Jon Snow is looking at that entire fleet of soldiers coming at him on horseback, and he's standing his ground. I thought that was a pretty awesome moment. Also, the Khal Drogo and Queen of Dragons scene where things get a little bit too intense on their wedding night. That was always sort of an eye-opening sequence. Christopher Butcher, you're my substitute for my friends while I'm cooped up in the house. Laugh out loud. Keep on keeping on, man. Well, thanks, Christopher. Yeah, I hope I can be this. I hope I'm. That's why I'm making live streams, guys. I know everyone's bored right now. There's not much to do. And if you're like me, you probably watched everything on Netflix, Amazon Prime. And, I just wanted to do something fun for a couple hours and sort of hang out and, have a conversation about movies. Because if you can't leave your house, I'll always be here for you. Nurturing you and holding you close to my bosom. All right. Colin, hey John, last time I donated, you butchered the Irish accent. I want an apology. Well, thanks, Colin, for the super chat. And I'm sorry to butcher the accent. Oh, don't you know, little one? Oh. I can't do an Irish accent. I can't do any accent. I can do a Scottish accent, but not a very good one. Beach Bum 0331. Hey John, have you seen Shot Caller? I won't stop donating till you see Jaime Lannister with a very German 1941 tattoo. Love the live stream. Oh gosh. Thank you for that, man. Yeah, I have not seen Shot Caller, and I remember somebody asked that not too long ago. I have not seen it. But you kind of sold me on last time you asked me that. You sold me on sort of the premise for it. So I might watch it. I definitely have the downtime to watch it. All right, guys. All right, Patrick John. Oh, I already read this. Oh gosh. Kill M. Hey John, any conspiracies with the virus? Maybe a few. I don't want to sound crazy. I just think it's bizarre. A majority of these viruses sort of come out of the same exact location in China, and it just, the timing is sort of impeccable, and the way it's working is bizarre to me. I don't know. I think it's. I don't feel like this. How do I put this? I feel like this is a man-made virus. Do I think they intentionally released it on the public to make an apocalyptic wasteland to take out half the population to pull a Thanos? Probably not. But do I think the virus is man-made? I do. I do. I mean, I don't know. Do you really believe this came from some guy eating a bat? I don't know. There's always more to it than we know. So just rest assured that there's nothing we can do, and your government's probably not telling you everything that you need to know. But once again, guys, I don't want to become the crazy conspiracy theorist. Moose Ahmad. Mahuz Ahmad. Thanks for the super chat. Have we started the fire? The fire burns. Speaking of that, This is the one time in society where I can wear this shit and no one looks at me weird. This is my Bane respirator mask. Yeah. So thank you for the question. Sorry, guys. Just trying to keep up on the super chats here and all the questions. There's a lot coming here. All right, Ryan O'Toole. You like me lobster, don't ye? Love your channel. Well, thank you. And, right now would actually be a good time to be locked alone on a lighthouse, being a naked Willem Dafoe, staring at the light, just going utterly insane, or carving little wood mermaids. You got to do what you got to do. Or fart a lot. I don't know. Alexander Lowe. Hey, John. Have you thought about doing a live movie watch-along commentary for Contagion, Outbreak, or even World War Z? That would be a depressing movie night, wouldn't it? But in all seriousness, when you watch some of those movies, you sort of do feel better about the situation that we're in, right? Because, in World War Z, Germex wasn't going to kill those zombies. Only Brad Pitt could save the day. So that would be interesting, maybe doing a watch-along commentary. I would probably do it for World War Z. I don't love the movie Outbreak. Contagion's sort of depressing, but World War Z would be a fun one to do. Yeah. I always thought World War Z had the scariest zombies. That and the Day of the Dead. But yeah, in World War Z, those zombies sprint. They run pretty fast. Mahuz Ahmad, Seinfeld or Friends? Please say Seinfeld. No soup for you. I love Seinfeld. Yeah, I never watched Friends. I always thought Friends was more like Seinfeld was what dudes watch, and Friends was what kind of like women watched in the 90s. Or at least that's what I always thought. I loved Seinfeld. A show about nothing? Yes, please. That's what I base all my vlog videos on. That's what I'm basing this live stream on. It's a live stream about nothing. Ricardo Franco. Hey, man. How's it going? Thanks for joining. What's up, John? Does it feel like 10 Cloverfield Lane for you, too? Yeah, it sort of does. In about 2 more weeks, I will become John Goodman. We will watch movies on my old CRT TV and play board games in my bunker under the ground. But somehow, magically, at the end of all of this, aliens will come and the complete tone of everything just immediately changes. I would love to have a bunker under the ground, and I would go hang out with John Goodman. Yes, please. I mean, listen, you just have to have, if things get out of hand, you always have that vat of acid ready to go. Patrick John. Whoa, thank you, Patrick, for the super chat. If there's not a new video on the FlickPick channel by the end of the week, I want my $100 back. Ha ha ha! Just kidding. I really couldn't think of a better way to spend the money. You provided me with so much entertainment over the years. Patrick, thank you, man. You're being too kind. I thank you for that so much. If you were here right now, I would put a biohazard suit on and give you a nice hug. Thank you for that, man. And I will actually have a new FlickPick video. I have one ready pretty much to go. I just have to kind of tweak it and edit it. But it's an update video on some new things to come, some new series. Because, yeah, to be honest with you guys, the lack of new releases, some people hate it. I kind of, in a way, I don't love it. Like, I wish everything was back to normal. But in a weird way, it comforts me. And what I mean by that is it gives me time to make some other videos, some other series I've wanted to make. And now I don't have to sit there and focus on going to see a new movie and popping out a video and focusing on that. I can kind of just make the videos I've been wanting to make for a long time and focus on that. And they're all about movies. When it comes to new releases or talking about movies, there's more than enough to talk about. I have plenty of content. I don't need a new release to do it. And you see all those things back there behind my head? I can talk about all of those. There's plenty of movies I've never talked about on YouTube that I would love to talk about, and now it feels like I sort of have the time to do it. But I also do have a few new series ideas, and in this upcoming update video over on the Flickpick channel, which I'll try to release it tomorrow, I will give you guys those updates, and I want to hear your guys' feedback, what you guys want to see. But I do have a really cool, I'm going to say cool one more time. I do have some new series ideas that I really want to make for you guys, and I definitely want to do more movie night videos. And if I ever do any more flick trip videos, I will probably have to do those in a biohazard suit, and we'll no longer look for Blu-rays. We'll look for toilet paper. So those are a few a few new videos I want to make. All right, Colin. What just happened? All right, Colin, do a live unboxing of a Blu-ray you have on stream. Do a live unboxing of a Blu-ray? I could do that. Is that what you guys want? I can pick. I think I have a few of those in plastic still. I could open up and hold in front of you if it makes everyone feel good about what's happening right now. Yeah, I can do that. Just give me a minute, maybe. Balloon Raccoon, I know you're a huge Batman fan. My question is, which OPDC character would you like to see in a live-action DC movie? Martian the Manhunter, etc.? Yeah, I was really disappointed that we never... Well, first of all, I'm disappointed in DC that we never got a competently made Justice League movie, which I think the next Justice League film was going to feature Martian the Manhunter, or I think they were going to possibly feature him in the upcoming solo Green Lantern movie. That was the rumor a long time ago. I think Martian the Manhunter would have been a really cool character to see in a DC movie. So I'd actually agree with what you said. Guthanas, thank you for the super chat, Guthanas. Now that theaters are closed, are you planning on playing any upcoming video games? Well, Guthanos. Guthanos. Is it Guthanos? You snap your fingers and half of humanity disappears? Because that's what's happening. Yeah, guys. Yeah, Thanos didn't need the Infinity Stones. He didn't need any of that. He just had to eat a bat over in China and half the population disappears. It would have been that easy. And the Avengers never would have stopped him. So yeah, I actually the only console I own is I have a classic SNES back there, and I have not played it in probably 6 months. But I do want to play it. It sort of takes me to my happy place. I don't own a newer console. I don't own like a PS4 or Xbox One. I used to. I got rid of them. But yeah, I think playing some video games would be fun. But even playing like the classic SNES is fun. Whatever occupies your time. But you know, honestly, instead of playing video games, I would rather just live stream and talk to you guys. That to me I don't know, it's more enjoyable than video games. And plus, we have 477 people watching the live stream right now. That might be a record right now. Yeah, and big thanks to all of you guys thus far. It means so much. And big thanks to Patrick John. He's too generous. My God, Patrick. Favorite Marvel movie. All right, guys, after I tell you my favorite Marvel movie, I will give you this inside scoop that I've heard a little bit about. Favorite Marvel movie, honestly, might be Avengers Infinity War. I did watch Avengers Endgame for like the 5th time the other night, which I don't care what anyone says. I thought that was a fulfilling conclusion to the entire current Marvel universe. So I'd probably say Infinity War, Captain America Winter Soldier, and Thor Ragnarok right now are probably my top 3 favorites. Yeah. All right, guys, let me give you this big, juicy inside scoop, and you heard it here first. This is a Flick Pick exclusive just for you guys because I like you more than anyone. Shh, don't tell anybody. All right, guys, so here it is. I had a conversation with a friend I went to high school with that works for somebody who works for somebody at Warner Brothers, and the scoop is there was recently just a big meeting over at Warner Brothers talking about the current releases of upcoming films this summer, and the talk is they might stream their biggest tentpole movies. So that includes like Tenet, the next big film to come out, whatever, you name it. It will probably be coming to VOD, and the cost will be $50 per household. That's in early discussions. They haven't confirmed that yet, but that's currently the discussion that Warner Brothers is having about releasing theatrical movies. It will probably hit VOD and cost $50 per household. So that comes from a very reliable source, but that is what Warner Brothers is currently talking about right now. So yeah, if you guys want to chime in on that, let me know your thoughts, your opinions, and I would probably, if you put Tenet in front of me so I could watch it at home right now, or watch it this summer, I would pay $50. And I think right now, as far as a marketing decision goes, a business standpoint, if theaters and public places aren't going to open in the next 3 months, and it sounds bad to say this like this, but theaters can capitalize on everyone being at home. There's families stuck at home. There's millions and millions of people at home not leaving their houses. I think people would probably pay $50 to watch a new release at home with the family. Because once again, that's still cheaper than taking your entire family to the movie theater, and it's something to do. So I think right now if they did that, there's enough people who aren't going to stream or pirate a movie because honestly, I know how. I just don't want to do it. I'd rather watch a full quality version on VOD. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, and $50 sounds like a lot at first, but when you step back and think about the convenience factor, I think it's definitely worth it. And plus, going out into society right now scares me. I'm not a paranoid guy. I'm really not. I am a germaphobe, so that does hinder me a little bit. But if you can avoid something just by simply staying inside and watching movies or playing video games, why not do it for a couple weeks, right? Just stay inside, eat some marshmallows, eat your frozen pizzas and your Sour Patch Kids. Team Card Games, thanks for the super chat. I'd rather live in the post 5 years later in Endgame than live in whatever is happening right now. You're right. At least, yeah, you're right. Everyone was mourning their losses, but you at least could leave the house, right? Yeah, you're right. But that's a world with no Spider-Man. That's kind of depressing. Yeah, I probably would have been in the self-help group sitting beside Captain America. At least movie theaters would have been a lot less busy too. Carlos Fontes. How would you feel about a movie taking place in the 40s featuring Indiana Jones, Captain America, and the Rocketeer fighting Nazis? I would like that movie. That would be cool. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but I would like to watch that movie. That sounds like a good movie. You sort of just made me want to go watch Indiana Jones right now. Gabe Eskur, as a father of 3, I'm down for VOD movement. $50 is still cheaper than going to the theater. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Well, thanks, Gabe. Yeah, man, I agree. It's definitely cheaper, and right now, beggars can't be choosers, right? So you put that $50 movie in front of me, I will watch it at home. Honestly, if it depends which movie it is. If you put like Fast and Furious 9 in front of me for $50, I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to feel good about it though. But if you put Tenet in front of me, I'm going to watch that right now, instantaneously. Yes, please. I want it. I need it. So yeah. All right, guys. Oh, we have 500 people here in the stream. If you guys are just joining, hi there, welcome. You know the old saying, go grab your popcorn and hand sanitizer, and maybe something cold to drink. 3 ice cubes, no more, no less. And I'm trying to get to the questions as quickly as I possibly can, guys. You guys are killing it with the super chats. Thank you so much. It's much appreciated. Patrick John with another badass super chat, Patrick. One more. Have you ever watched Weird Science from the 80s? It's like my over-the-top. It's like the funniest movie ever. Check it out. Of course I've seen Weird Science. I love it. It has Bill Paxton. Yeah, I'll tell you a fun story about Weird Science. By the way, I do own Weird Science back there. I have the Arrow Steelbook version of Weird Science somewhere back there. It's somewhere back there. I love Weird Science. It's one of the quintessential 80s movies of all time. But yeah, fun story about weird science. As a kid, me and my cousin once had we had a Barbie doll, and we did try to bring it to life with a microwave, based on real science. Or I'm sorry, weird science. Yeah, so don't ever put a Barbie doll in the microwave. It doesn't work out well. Scott Dine. Do you like the movie Beetlejuice? Why or why not? Hey, you want to get nuts? I'll get nuts. I'm doing my Beetlejuice impression, but with a Batman quote. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. That's my Beetlejuice. Yeah, I love Beetlejuice. I always loved that movie, and Alec Baldwin in that movie is phenomenal. But my favorite thing in Beetlejuice is when they go to the waiting room, and you have the little guy with the shrunken head. Every time I see that, I laugh. Mike McCarty, thoughts on Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? That's a seedy movie, and I really enjoyed that film. I actually remember watching that film for the first time on Showtime back in 1995 as a young kid staying at my grandparents' house because they had all the cable channels illegally. They had this little black box where you could watch every pay channel for free. And that was my first experience with Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Brad Tastic. Hey, John. So I accidentally ate the toilet paper and wiped my ass with frozen pizza. I'm not sure how I got confused, but I think my brain is deteriorating after being stuck inside for so long. Either way, hey, if you want to switch things up, it works either way. Yeah. Or you can put a little bit of that toilet paper on the frozen pizza if you want to get a little bit crazy. Or you can put a little bit of the toppings on the toilet paper. Whatever way you want to do it, man. All right, guys, let me dive in here. I'm trying to find some other... The chat is going very slow, so bear with me. And, all right. Take a drink of this real quick. That is a tasty beverage. All right. Oh, all right. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys on Streamlabs over there for the donations. Gunth Thanos for the $25 donation on Streamlabs. Thank you, Gunth Thanos. And then Brad Tastic, thank you for the awesome donation on Streamlabs. So thank you guys for that. And the great thing about Streamlabs, YouTube doesn't take most of it. Oh, YouTube. You greedy son of a bitch, you. All right, let's dive into some more questions. Ashok Rocky. Hey, John, if they made a Batman Beyond movie, how would you feel if Robert De Niro got cast as old Bruce Wayne? I think he definitely has the look down. Yeah, you know, I'd probably go with old Michael Keaton. If they made a Batman Beyond movie, I think that would be a completely missed opportunity if you didn't cast older Michael Keaton as an older Bruce Wayne. That's what I wanted to see. That's what I need. That's what I think. I think one day we might get something similar, maybe. And by the way, speaking of that, the Batman movie, which was slated to come out in 2021, is currently in production. It's being delayed in production as well. Everyone's taken 2 weeks off from filming the movie. Hopefully, it doesn't last longer. But I feel like every time they tell us something is being delayed by 2 weeks, you can rest assured that might mean at least 1 to 2 months. Because I don't think things are magically going to get better before they're going to get worse. It's going to peak, and then things will slowly get better after that. Patrick John, put slow chat on. It'll make it easier to read. Yeah, the thing about slow chat though is it's a little bit too slow. I've tried slow chat on here, and it seems like it doesn't quite keep up with how fast I want to answer some of the questions. But I will rapid fire some of the questions here in 1 second. Show off your shirt. I will show you my shirt. You guys want to see the shirt? Check that bad boy out. Sweep the leg. Sweep CV, Johnny. Yeah. I think what I'd like to do is what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start making parodies of everything to do with CV. So I'll just put like in this same font, I'll have Johnny washing his hands. It'll say, "Wash the hands." That'd be kind of cool. I'd buy that shirt. And I just came up with that actually. Yeah. Yeah. So, hope you guys like that. All right. Gabe Esker. Thank you, Gabe. Man, you are just super chat master tonight. John, I think I like a few movies that are some consider pretentious. My question is, what makes a movie pretentious, and can a pretentious film still be enjoyed? I'm thinking maybe some of Kubrick's films. Yeah, 2001 is, I would consider, 2001 is a groundbreaking, fantastical film that paved the way for special effects and what you can do with film. Would it be considered pretentious because it has shots that last 15 minutes of spaceships docking? Maybe, possibly. It just depends. My version of pretentious is really when you can tell that director is so in love with what he has, and he thinks every minute thing that he wrote in that script or is in the script matters so much, and even if it really doesn't. So what you might consider a pretentious film might not be, or it might be. Just for me, there's some films that get they become so self-indulgent, I would say. That's what I would consider a pretentious film. Like the film, I've heard some people consider the film Drive slightly pretentious. And I understand what they're saying, but at the same time, it's just the right level of pretentiousness for me. Like when they have every close-up of Ryan Gosling just standing there staring off into the distance with a tear trickling down his eye, some might say that's pretentious, but I say that's damn good acting. Then he does the exact same thing in Place Beyond the Pines, but I still rather enjoyed The Moto Bandit. Team Card Games. I was really excited for Mulan and an actual good-looking remake compared to the other awful remakes, but I guess I won't be able to see it thanks COVID-19. By saying that, I just demonetized my video. But who cares? So yeah, I was looking forward to Mulan too. As far as the original animated Mulan movie went, it was never one of my favorite animated movies. I don't know why, I just never really connected to it. But yeah, Mulan looked like it was taking itself serious, like the source material, and it looked like it was going to be a fun time, maybe a little bit of an epic war film, maybe a little bit. And it's delayed indefinitely right now. But like I said earlier, If Universal's streaming service goes well and people pay money to actually watch these movies and not pirate it like a bunch of assholes, this might pave the way for all these new releases to hit VOD where we can watch them in the comfort of our homes and the safety to watch these movies. So it's possible that if this goes well, that Mulan might come out on VOD this summer. So that's what I'm hoping. Patrick John, the mincing of pretentiousness to me is when the director looks down on the audience. That's a good point, Patrick. I do agree with that. Yes, when the director feels like he's 3 notches above everyone watching his own movie, right? You're right with that. I think I just said Drive wasn't pretentious; it was the right level of pretentious. But Only God Forgives, I would deem pretentious. Right? That's like the balance was shifted, and Only God Forgives was just like, yeah, I get the symbolism. I get what you're going for. It's a little on the nose. And can you just stop acting like you're the smartest guy in the room? Yeah, I do agree with your statement, though. Marcus Flea, which do you prefer, 70mm IMAX or IMAX laser? 70mm IMAX, man. Please give it to me now. Well, you know what? You're just talking about the presentation, the way it's presented, right? I don't know. I would really have to. I don't feel like I don't feel like I can really give the comparison on either two. I'm really trying to think of IMAX laser films I've watched, and I can't think of one off the top of my head. All I can do is tell you if I had to pick one, though, I'd go with 70mm IMAX because film is always going to be superior to digital, in my opinion. It's something about the look of it, that glow, it just looks better. I mean, you can manipulate digital all you want to look like film, but it's never quite the same. So I'd go with 70mm IMAX. I mean, based on films like The Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises, Dunkirk. Team Card Games. Oh, did I already answer this? Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm doing my best to keep up. All right. Akil M. What about the theater experience? Laughing and crying with a bunch of strangers is fun sometimes. Also, the drive to a movie you've been waiting to see. What is it about the theater experience? Laughing, crying. Yeah, it's something about coming together, right? It's that sense of community. It's watching a movie and having that same experience with everyone else in the theater at the same time, watching a movie up on the big screen that makes that movie that much more enjoyable, right? So, like, if you watch a comedy movie and everyone's laughing, everything happening up on the big screen is that much funnier. Like, if you hear other laughs around you, it sells the joke almost that much more. It's like watching a live sporting event. We could talk about modern day sporting events, but like if you watch a football game or a wrestling match and no one's in the audience watching it, it's not quite the same, right? It's the same thing with the movie theater experience. Sometimes when you have a respectful audience that laugh when they should or cry when they should or whatever, it just makes the movie that much more fun. It makes it more of a spectacle. So, and plus, yeah, drive to a good movie. I will miss driving to the movie theater. Usually I'm doing like a flick trip, recording myself, driving down the road with a camera in front of my face, or stopping in the gas station on the way when I have like 5 seconds to get to the movie theater, and then running inside as quickly as I can. But yeah, I those things I would miss if the movie theaters close. Those experiences will no longer be there. But in the meantime, I would love to watch new movies at home. Balloon Raccoon. John, I'd love to hear your honest opinion on the movie Annihilation. I love the concept and can't watch it enough. Also, Arrival. I liked Arrival. I remember, off the top of my head, I don't remember some of the cynical complaints I had with Arrival. I remember the third act lost me a little bit when they were trying to sell me on the twist. I remember some of the logic. I wasn't buying into it. It just felt like it felt like it became convoluted for the sake of having twists and turns in a story that probably wouldn't have went that route. But I don't remember all those complaints off the top of my head. But overall, I really did like Arrival. And what was the other question you had? Oh, Annihilation. Yeah, I liked Annihilation. There was a subplot in Annihilation that I felt like a little unnecessary. It sort of took you out of the movie. The Natalie Portman subplot, which just made you hate her as a human being. But I liked the bear in Annihilation. I thought the overall concept was really intriguing. It was sort of like a smart man's sci-fi film. But with that said, I have no desire to go back and revisit that movie. I feel like it doesn't really have much rewatchability. That and Arrival both sort of lack rewatchability to me. That's just my opinion on both films. But I'm a weirdo. Sometimes there's films that no one would ever watch again that I can rewatch 50 times, and there's other films that people love that I'm just like, I don't know. I wasn't sold on it. So. Patrick John, my key to a good theater experience, go on a weekday in the middle of the day when everyone is at work or at school. That's a good motto. That's typically what I try to do, except during the day, there's always a whole bunch of like kids in there. Somehow, some way, there's always kids in there. And if you go to a really late showing a movie, this always happens. Some like piece of shit always brings their like infant child into like a 10:30 showing of a rated R movie. And it's just like, what are you doing? And the baby always starts to cry. And you can't be mad at the baby for crying. It's a baby. That's what they do. You have to be mad at the parents. Gabe Esker, today's stream seems like you're not a Villainy fan. True? No, that's completely false, man. I'm looking forward to Dune more than anything. I love Sicario. I really enjoyed Blade Runner 2049. You just picked like one movie I'm not in love with. What's okay? You guys want a? You guys want me to? Do you want me to unbox a Blu-ray right now? I can do that. Okay. Ah. Okay. How about this? Which one? The name's Murphy. I eat baby food. All right, which one would you guys like? I can unbox RoboCop, the Steelbook, or I can unbox A Quiet Place, the Steelbook. These are both new. They were sent to me a while back. I was going to share these in an upcoming Blu-ray video for you guys, but I can unbox this and we can talk about that because the only quiet place right now are movie theaters. All right. RoboCop, A Quiet Place. All right, we'll see which one wins. I'm getting that's a lot of responses. Keep going. Which one? I'm indecisive right now. I don't know. Russ Rogers, member, says Quiet Place. Gambit X says RoboCop. Both YouTube members here. RoboCop. I'll tell you what. You know what? I guess I could just open both of the movies. What else do we have to do? There's nothing to do. All right, I will open A Quiet Place first. How's that, guys? I have to be very gentle when I open it. As I open it, I'll answer some more questions. Daniel Culo? Danley Culo. Hey, John, big fan. Favorite talk show host? Mine's Conan. Yeah, I love Conan. I think Conan O'Brien... I said Conan. Yeah, I love Conan O'Brien. He's actually the one legitimate talk show host I find funny and not cringy. Jimmy Fallon laughs at his own jokes, and I don't find him funny at all. Back in the day, I used to watch Jay Leno because my grandfather watched his show, but I never really thought Jay Leno was that funny. Never a David Letterman fan. So yeah, I would probably go with... I like Conan O'Brien the best. Yeah, I would agree. All right, I'm trying to open this without scratching it. Steady hands. And at one point in this live stream, I will put my Bane mask on, and I will do the remainder of the live stream in the Bane mask. Just for you guys. Hey, John, it's pronounced Stani Fourth. Anyway. Oh, Stephen Stani Fourth. Okay, Stephen. I'm sorry. Please forgive my sins against humanity. Anyway, what is the craziest conspiracy theory you believe in? Mine would be the government killing off homeopathic doctors to keep selling pharmaceutical drugs. Well, they don't need to do all of that because what governments do is they make shell corporations, and they're essentially private corporations where you don't know the source of it, and they just buy up all the medicine out there, and then what they do is they privatize it, make it so expensive. So that's essentially what's happening, and it's been proven that has happened. But I have so many conspiracy theories. Don't even get me started. If you name any conspiracy theory, I probably have an opinion about it. Hi, John. Do you like the UFC? Yeah, I like the UFC. Yeah, sure. I don't watch it on a normal basis, but if I had to pick one normal sport to watch that's based in reality, I do watch wrestling, but I would say UFC is probably the most enjoyable sport to watch that really gets me off on the edge of my seat. All right, guys. So here's the Quiet Place. Here it has this little clear slipcover here. Smells good. And then you open up the steel. Look at that cover, guys. That is a sexy cover. And then here's the back of it. You open this bad boy. Does anybody want the digital download copy code to Quiet Place? Get ready. I'm going to give it away right now. Are you guys ready? Okay. Here it is. Can you see it? Wait, let me... Uh-oh. Here, I'll just read it to you guys, okay? It's going to be PY36NY M3JL9X. There you go. Okay. So here's the inside of the Quiet Place Steelbook. I enjoy it. Look at that, man. Those are nice. That is nice. Yeah, this is the 4K here. Here's the Blu-ray under that. I like that. I always like when any steelbook has a little bit of artwork on the inside. I like that it has the red bulbs on there. The lights that they had in the movie, they were actually white, not red. But yeah, I dig that. It makes me want to go to a waterfall right now and scream. All right, Max Neugebauer. When do you plan on making another Blu-ray collection video? I have 2 of mine on my channel. If you want to just watch one, watch my newer one. Well, thanks, Max. I'm actually going to talk about all of these movies in an upcoming video, probably this week over on the Flickpick channel. It's going to be kind of like a Blu-ray update video. I actually just did an entire collection video in August talking about every single movie back there. That's like an hour and a half long. You can watch that if you're really bored in life. Patrick John. Just rewatched Fast Times. Talk about that movie that couldn't be made today. Phoebe Cates in that movie made me the man I am today. I love Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and you're right, that movie could not be made today because people are too sensitive to watch a movie like that with actually gripping storylines and subplots that actually matter and relate to what's happening in society. I love that film. And also Phoebe Cates made me the man I am today. But when I watched her in Drop Dead Fred, I don't know why. So yeah, I love that film. I love the mall in Fast Times at Ridgemont High is essentially the same mall that the season 3 of Stranger Things duplicated. I love that, and it sort of makes me sad that we don't live in a society anymore where we have malls like that, because that was like the place to go, right? You had a movie theater, you had like a place to eat pretzels, you had whatever, and right now we don't have any of that. We don't even have a movie theater. So yeah, I love Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And Spicoli in that film, also a big influence on my high school career. If we're both here, doesn't that make it our time, Mr. Hand? And then he orders a pizza. I love it. All right, let's dive into some more questions here. Jay Leno is the worst. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. All right. All right, guys. Sorry, YouTube's lagging right now. Let's get back to these amazing questions here. Where am I? Okay, there we go. What is your favorite actor to watch? I like watching Leonardo DiCaprio in movies. I don't know why. I just relate to him. Like, if I was going to be an actor, my acting style would be similar to Leonardo DiCaprio. A lot of his roles I watch, I relate. Like, Catch Me If You Can. That's where I really enjoyed Leonardo DiCaprio as an actor. Also, Christian Bale, I think, is a phenomenal actor. Claudio Rogajan. Thoughts on flat Earth theory? Yeah, that's the one I don't buy into, man. It's a sphere. It's a round ball floating around. We're a little rock floating around in space. And what are we on that rock? Just little specks of bacteria making live streams. That's what we are. Oh yeah, I get to watch John live. John flex for me. No. Thoughts on Toy Story 4? I liked Toy Story 4. Didn't love it. It might be my least favorite of the 4 Toy Stories, but I still enjoyed the movie. I liked the ending. A lot of people complain about the ending of Toy Story and Toy Story 4, and I thought it was appropriate. I liked the direction it went. One more. Have you ever watched... Oh, I already answered that. Sorry, I keep seeing the same questions over and over. Play video games, please. Listen, if we're all stuck in our houses for the next 6 months, I might start twitching and playing games on Twitch, because I could essentially do what I'm doing now, but you guys could look at a video game instead of my atrocious face for 2 hours. I would just play Zombies Ate My Neighbors. That's what I would be playing, because that's the times that we live in right now. Better movie, Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker? That's tough, man. That's really tough. Honestly, I might say Last Jedi. I mean, maybe Last Jedi might be the better movie. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't rewatched Rise of Skywalker since seeing it in theaters, and I have no urge to watch it anytime soon. So, yeah, I don't know. Grim Silo. Instead of a Jaws remake, they can make a prequel with the young Quint's Indianapolis story of surviving shark-infested waters in WW2. Thoughts? I've heard that somewhere before, and I don't disagree with you on that. I think a prequel would be the only logical, less insulting way to make another Jaws movie. If they simply remake a Jaws movie, it's just like, what are you doing, right? But yeah, I think a prequel with young Quint could be awesome. And we talked about that on the last live stream, which was 2 hours and 45 minutes, by the way. But yeah, somebody said, if they recast Quint, Russell Crowe or Willem Dafoe would be good recast choices as an actor. But yeah, I think a prequel would be cool. Yeah, include that story. Maybe open up the movie with Quint's Indianapolis story of jumping off the battleship and being stuck in shark-infested waters, which is based on historical facts. That would be... they have a movie based on that. It's sort of an underwhelming movie. It was like a straight-to-video movie, but yeah, that could be... That's a good idea. I'd like to watch that. All right. Claudio Rogajan, you actually think we are just specks of bacteria? I think the engineers came down from another planet, had a little vial of black goo, they dumped it into the water, and thus here we are millions of years later. That's Rando Commando 41. Say 5 Arnold quotes, please. Freeze! Boat boy! Chill! What killed the dinosaurs? Do it now, I'm here! I'm a cybernetic organism. It just gets worse as we progress. Patrick John, your transportation of choice in the apocalyptic wastelands, I'm going DeLorean. Yeah, the DeLorean's pretty good, but then you just go back in time, which is sort of a cop-out, right? In the post-apocalyptic wastelands, you need something with some muscle, you need some all-terrain tires, you need grill guards, you need a little barbed wire wrapped around the top of it, you need four-wheel drive, and that thing needs to run on high-quality octane, man. But then again, yeah, the DeLorean it's hard to say what I would want. I don't know. I liked the vehicles in Mad Max Fury Road. Maybe one of those, or maybe the Tumbler would be a good one. Batman's Tumbler might be a smart choice. But yeah, if I can have time travel, I'm probably going with the DeLorean. All right. The Rise of Skywalker was a mess, but I'd rather watch it. Yeah, like I said, I need to go back and rewatch The Rise of Skywalker one more time. I mean, both films to me were sort of a mess and underwhelming, but The Rise of Skywalker, man, it just felt like they slapped that together at the last second to poop out a movie. So yeah, John Gomez, thanks for becoming a YouTube member here on YouTube, and I hope you enjoy the mini Flick Trip episodes and the Patreon podcast. Or not, well, it's a YouTube podcast as well now, since you can watch it on YouTube if you're a member. Manuel Alejandro. Okay. Manuel Alejandro. Manuel Alejandro. There we go. I'm learning how to read, guys. Hey, John, have you watched Castlevania? What do you think? Is it the second best video game adaptation? Much love from Venezuela. I have not watched Castlevania. I remember playing in the Castlevania game, and also Castlevania had some really awesome music for the game. I've never watched any show though of Castlevania, so I'm sorry. Thoughts on Final Fantasy? I never played Final Fantasy. It was just one of those things that went over my head as a kid, and I never got into it. I always just remember. You know what I think turned me off to it? I remember having a friend that played it, and I remember him watching like a cut screen of the game for like 20 minutes. And I was watching him, and I was just like, "Are you gonna play it, or is this you just look at cut screens?" Maybe that's what turned me off to it. I'm not quite sure. In your opinion, do you think Fast and Furious got carried away? Yes, I do. I do think that. I've said that after every movie after Fast and Furious 5. I have said that. The Fast and Furious 5 was like, okay, you're getting a little bit crazy. They're turning into superheroes, but at least it sort of feels like things matter. And then Fast and Furious 6, 7, and 8, I felt like the stories got worse, the plot was terrible, and then the action was so mind-numbing that I didn't care about anything happening. So yeah, I do think they've gotten carried away. But if they could just go back to what made Fast 5 so great, that was the perfect blend. They found like the perfect balance in that movie. Akil M, do you think the government should give us all money? I mean, the government's been taking your money for years, so if they want to give back a little bit of it, sure, yeah, why not? I mean, it's really just your money in the first place. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, but I think anything they can do to help people right now, they should, because the government wastes money. They spend millions and trillions of dollars on made-up things anyway. So to give back a little bit to help people in this time, yeah, I think they should. Thoughts on Good Time? Really enjoyed Good Time. That was the movie that made me look at Robert Pattinson more than just the Twilight guy. It opened up my eyes to him being a really great actor. But I might actually lean towards Uncut Gems if I had to pick my favorite film by the directors. Patrick John, the history of cinema is still very young, not even 100 years. Do you think in 1,000 years, hypothetically, they'll still talk about classics? Yeah, I think they'll talk about classics the same way we talk about classics from maybe the 1930s, 1940s, the 1950s. I think there's a lot of great films right now that have that open up the path to other films. So yeah, I think in 100 years there's probably going to be a handful of movies that they do talk about. One of those will be The Meg, starring Jason Statham. Or I think the most quintessential film in the next 100 years will be The Fanatic, starring John Travolta, directed by Fred Durst. I think that should be shown in film classes across the planet in 100 years. This is how you do not make a film. Don't do what this movie did. John, unbox RoboCop. I'll unbox it when we run out of stuff to talk about. Mike McCarty. Why would I pay $50 for a digital release when the new release Blu-rays are usually $30, and especially when you account for the services like AMC A-List that are only $25 a month and you can see several films? Well, Mike, you can't go see movies at the movie theater right now. They're not there. There's nowhere to go watch movies, man. So the thing is, the studios need to recoup the money that they spend into these $200 million blockbuster movies. So if they want to charge $50, and keep this in mind, if you pay $50 to watch one of the new releases at home, that means everyone in your entire family for like 48 hours can view this money. So I think if you're going to watch it with multiple people, that's not a bad deal. Now, I don't disagree with you. Having a physical copy of the movie for $30 is much better. I would prefer that. But and you will get that, much like you do with a typical theater release. If you want to wait the next 4 or 5 months for that 4K Blu-ray to hit the shelves and buy it, you can do that. But right now, they need to recoup as much money as they possibly can. If they want to charge $50, it sounds like a lot of money, but I'm willing to pay it to see the movies I want to see at home. So, And plus, think of it this way, right? You don't have to buy the drinks. You don't have to buy the snacks. It's all at home. You can do it there. And the good thing is you won't get CV at home. So, you know. Nerd or Die. Hey, John, been watching since your shark attack video. Yes, I forgot about that. Wife and daughter here. Also, please say hi. Kaylee, also, we want to know what you think of Power Rangers. Well, hi, Kaylee, and this is what I think about the Power Rangers. Even as a kid, I never was a diehard Power Rangers fan. I always remember watching it. I remember Tommy with his little weird ponytail doing backflips, and I was like, I don't know. I sort of just want to go watch Biker Mice or Street Sharks instead. I was never a diehard Power Rangers fan. I really wasn't. As far as the new Power Rangers movie that came out, I thought it was okay. I'm not going to lie to you. When they started playing the Power Rangers theme song right at the climax of the movie, I was like, this is pretty badass. I enjoyed that. But yeah, I was never really a hardcore Power Rangers kid growing up. Night King 01. Should there be a reboot of Resident Evil movies? Yes, absolutely there should be. And if ever the time was right, it's probably now. Or maybe it's the worst time ever to make a film about a post-apocalyptic wasteland. I don't know. I don't know if that'll depress people when those movies come out, but maybe. I never liked the Resident Evil movies, the newer ones with Mila Jovovich. I thought they just felt like products of their time, and just they were directed by a guy who, other than Mortal Kombat, I don't think he made a few. He also directed Event Horizon, didn't he? But yeah, I just think his movies all look like they belong in like 2002. They look like Matrix rip-offs that belong in 2002. So yeah, I would love to see rebooted Resident Evil movies that take the source material seriously and add like a level of grit to it and sort of, make it actually feel like this atmospheric film rather than this, I don't know, Mila Jovovich doing slow-mo scissor kicks. Ugh. All right. Patrick John, seems like these streams are getting your channel engagement back up. You're breaking records. I'm so happy. Well, thanks, man. Yeah, these live streams, as far as channel engagement goes, the watch minutes are up into the millions. But yeah, the thing about YouTube, the algorithm, it doesn't matter. Usually YouTube, if you do one thing, they punish you another way. So like these live streams actually hurt your algorithm on your channel because even though they get lots of watch minutes, no one truly watches all 2 hours. Some of you do, and I appreciate that, but sometimes it affects the audience retention. So if you do one thing right on YouTube, they punish you another way. It's crazy. YouTube is what it is. I'm to the point where I'm just going to make the videos I want to make, and you know what? Who cares, right? But I'm just glad you guys watch them. That's all that matters. Thoughts on Event Horizon? I don't remember a lot about Event Horizon. For me to even dive into any details, I honestly would just be making them up as I go. I remember almost nothing about the movie. What is that popcorn tin behind you? This is plastic. It's just a little popcorn thing I bought for $1. You can put popcorn in it, you can eat it, or you can use it as a prop during your live streams. That's what I do. All right, the next one. Colin, John, it's 3:11 a.m. in Ireland. I'm going off. Good stream. Thanks for the fun. You missed 2 of my super chats, by the way. Something against the Irish. You can take a land, but you can't take a freedom. That's Scotland. No, nothing. Good night, Colin. Thank you. And by the way, guys, if I do miss any super chats or anything, I will read them. I'm trying to get to them all. I have a list right here I'm going through. And I'm also answering questions in the chat as well. So I'm doing my best. I will make sure I try to answer everything on here. Claudio, is it Claudio? Claudio. Rogajon. Paul W.S. is making another video game movie. Oh no. Which one is he making? I'm sure it's terrible, whatever it is. Spencer Lewis. Thanks for the super chat, Spencer. By the way, we have 508 people in here watching right now. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope everyone's at home. I hope you guys are staying safe. And I'm glad I can give you guys something to do. I'm trying to give you guys the lowest form of entertainment I possibly can for a couple of hours. That way we can just forget about the harsh realities outside of our doors and sit inside and enjoy each other's company. This is it. Don't get sick now. All right, Spencer Lewis, let me answer your super chat here. John, love your content. Used to be a patron, but I'm poor. I'm a poor college student, and your content has been an escape for me during the first semester. Do you have any advice for college students? Well, thank you for being an ex-Patreon supporter. I appreciate it, man. So yeah, some advice for a college student. I guess eat ramen noodles and just do your best to graduate, man. You know, I don't know if you want advice on like a career path. I'm not sure what you really want there, but yeah, man, just if you're in college, just please don't waste your money on getting a degree that you're not going to use, that will be depressing one day. Get something that's useful that you want to do and go that route so you don't waste your money, and don't pay off your student debts for the next 15, 20 years like I'm doing right now, which sort of sucks. But yeah, just enjoy your experience, and hopefully, I don't know if your college shut down. A lot of colleges here shut down. Actually, I think all of them did. So, yeah, stay safe, man, and enjoy college. All right. And also, one more big shout out to Patrick John, man. You, thank you for the support in the stream. Seriously, thank you for that. I love you, Patrick. Shh, don't tell anybody. My advice is to pay your student loans ASAP from Rob K. Yeah, or defer them for 5 years like I did because I didn't make any money after college. So either way, yeah, do your best to pay them. Or maybe Bernie Sanders will come in and forgive all of them. John Gomez. Arnie arm wrestling. Okay, Arnie arm wrestles Stallone, both covered in baby oil. Who wins? I think Arnold, well, okay, if you're going to put Stallone and Arnold both in their prime, arm wrestling, Arnold's going to win that, man. Arnold is bigger. I think he was stronger. I mean, he definitely had the height advantage, the weight advantage. And Arnold was a professional bodybuilder, and he could lift some heavy-ass weight back in his prime. So I'd definitely go with Arnold winning that arm wrestling contest. But if you're going to go with technique, it can give you a lot of advantage in arm wrestling. You got to drop the weight, and whoever has the most baby oil on could possibly win. So it's tough to say, but I'm going to go with Arnold on that. Obi-Wan Toady, is college full of frat bros and fist pumps? It depends. It just depends which college you go to. I think nowadays it just really depends. Most colleges, not so much. If you join a frat house, maybe so, but mine wasn't at all. I wasn't in a fraternity, and I didn't even stay in a dorm. I went to a local college in my hometown while I lived in my mother's basement. So, what AV equipment do you use to watch movies? And I will answer this question as I open up this, as you guys randomly requested, I open up this steelbook of RoboCop. The moon looks lovely today. I wish I had some baby food to eat right now. Yeah, I watch my movies on a LG 65-inch 4K OLED TV that I bought in 2017, and I have a 4K Samsung player. That's how I watch my movies at home. So yeah, that's currently my setup. I do have some issues with my TV. I don't want to get started on it because I'll scream. But yeah, I do, and I also was sent an LG 4K projector to try out and show you guys. So that'll be the upcoming movie night video where we use the projector and we watch Parasite. That'll be a good time. But here's the RoboCop steelbook. Got this little... Oh, I ripped it! Okay, so here's the RoboCop steelbook. It's just a little paper. I wouldn't leave that... Actually, I'm going to take that off. I don't like the cardboard paper on there, but it seems to be stuck on there. There's no way to get this off. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then you take off the little cover on the back. Ooh, here's the back of the RoboCop steelbook. Delta City, the future has a silver lining. and his name's RoboCop. That's a pretty nice steelbook. Oh, it smells amazing. I love it. Yeah, that's awesome. That is a really cool steelbook. You got the discs there. They're just Blu-ray cuts. They're not like 4K or anything. And you have a lot of reading material in here. What's going on here? You have a little booklet. All kinds of good stuff. Yeah, you can read about it. What is this, though? Explore the classic cult and art house cinema. Join the cult. Okay. Yeah, and here's the artwork of it. What is that? Oh, that's Ed. Is it Ed 209? Anyway, he's there at the board meeting before he starts wasting everybody. All right. What's your favorite steelbook? I like the Wolf of Wall Street steelbook. I like the yellowness of it. Gabe Escur. Simps. What is Simps? Gabe Obscure, do Super Chats make Simpsons to you? Do Super Chats make us Simpson to you? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Gabe. I don't know what that means. Do Super Chats make us Simpson to you? I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Flick Virus. We can call it the Flick Virus. I'll refer to it now as the Flick Virus for the remainder of all my YouTube content. That way I don't get demonetized by YouTube. Claudio Rogajan. Paul W.S. Anderson is making a Monster Hunter movie with his wife Mila Jovovich. Do you think she ruined her career by marrying him? I think she did. I don't think she ruined her career because he kept giving her gigs every year with the new Resident Evil movies that were pooped out. And she made a lot of money. He made a lot of money. So no, I think they're going to be okay. And people went to go see those Resident Evil movies. They went to go see them. They weren't box office failures. I just thought they were terrible. Though I do enjoy the Resident Evil 2 movie that takes place in Raccoon City. I sort of enjoyed that just ever so slightly. I liked how they shut down the city and quarantined it, which is reminiscent to what's happening now. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Saya H. Have you seen Snyder's Watchmen, and what are your thoughts on it? I think it's a very underrated film. I just like his Man of Steel. It's odd that I always get the same questions over and over again. I always find that odd. People, every stream I do, I get a question about Watchmen. It's like I've seen the movie. I've talked about it so many times over the years. And by the way, as a guy who went to school for graphic design, I think that Watchmen poster, the original with Rorschach on the front, and it's raining in the background with the city skyline, has all these different elements that I think make a perfect movie poster or a one sheet. But honestly, yes, I do enjoy Watchmen. I enjoyed. I think it gets a little bit messy sometimes. I think the movie is a little bit too long for its own good. But there's so many great, phenomenal scenes in that film, and I love the way that it overall looks. I enjoy it. I think Rorschach is amazing in that film. There's great sequences throughout that film. It's just if they could have. It loses itself at sometimes. I think if they could have reined it in just a little bit, you would have had a much better film. But Dr. Manhattan in that movie makes me feel so. When you watch Dr. Manhattan in that film, and it's just like you don't feel like a big man anymore. All right, Wanato Rosenberg. Is Rise of Skywalker worth pirating? I would say it's not. That's just my opinion. I don't think it's even worth pirating. It's not worth using up the gigabytes on your internet speed. By the way, guys, we have 510 people in here. I think that might be a record. That's definitely at least a record here on this channel for live streaming. And by the way, if you guys just joined me and if you joined me for my main channel, The Flick Pick, after watching my announcement video that I was doing a stream, please subscribe. That way you can join me for more live streams and other weird stuff. I do vlog videos on this channel as well. And I also do reaction videos after the movie. That's when movie theaters still existed. But now I guess anytime I watch a movie at home, I'll just shoot like a reaction video on my couch in my underwear. That'll be my new after the movie reaction videos. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, just click the little button down below. It's free. I know it's going to hurt just for 1 second, but please join me. Claudio Rogajan, Mila Jovovich said, I feel like I pronounced her name differently every time I said it. Jovovich said her best movies get bad reviews. The best movie she's ever been in was probably Dazed and Confused. I did enjoy The Fifth Element. I know critics, I think, panned that movie when it came out, but I sort of always enjoyed The Fifth Element. Introducing Corbin Dallas! That's my Chris Tucker impression. Have you ever considered becoming vegan? That's a random question that doesn't relate to movies at all, but I will answer it for you. I like my meat, but I also don't mind eating a veggie patty. Like, I bought a whole bunch of frozen veggie patties to eat during the apocalypse, and I've been eating those. I enjoy those. I eat them with like rice or some veggies, so I don't mind like veggie food every once in a while. Gabe Obscure. I meant to say, do super chats make us simps laugh out loud? I will drink until the next morning. Bong Joon Ho, peace out. Thanks, man. Thank you for that. I still don't know what simps are. Am I crazy? What are simps? Simps. A simple person lacking... Oh, okay. I thought it stood for something. No! Simple? Simple people? No. It makes you magical and mystical, man. What I would like to do with all 519 of you watching right now is I would like to gather all of you up and put you in my basement right now, and we could all watch a movie together. Doesn't that sound fun? Doesn't that just sound like a viral infection waiting to happen? All right. Jason Dolan, you remind me of Christian Slater in Pump Up the Volume. I've heard that actually before. I've heard that once before. Put a turbo dog in the microwave. I've heard that before. Thank you, though. Team Card Games. Thoughts on Rocket Man 2019. I talked about that before. As far as like Elton John, I love his music. I think he has an interesting story, but to watch a musical biopic of his story was not the tone I wanted to see. I'm glad some people enjoyed it. It's just not a movie I wanted to watch. So though it was well done, wasn't one of my my favorite movies of the year. John not knowing what Simps is the best thing. I was guessing what simps are, but in this day and age, unless you're a cool, young, edgy kid, there's so many different meanings and abbreviations and words that I just go over my head anymore. So can we just call it simpletons? I have not heard simps in a very long time. Maybe I don't think people in America use the term simps. Night King 01, thoughts on Westworld Season 3, best show out now. Yeah, I watched Westworld Season 1. Yeah. I don't know. I got a little bit bored by it. I actually heard that... I thought they were sort of changing up a lot of things for Season 3. Am I making that up? I thought they sort of like rebooted a lot of different elements to the show. But right now, I'm sort of just watching Better Call Saul. I'm waiting for the third season of Ozark to come out next week. Excuse me. That's what I'm watching right now. Better Call Saul puts me in a good mood. That doesn't sound creepy at all. There's nothing wrong with what I said about putting you in the basement. It'll be okay. I'll lock the door and I'll flood the basement with sanitizer. We'll swim in it. It'll be a good time. Hey, John, do you like the movie Wanted? I do not. I recall seeing the movie Wanted in theaters, and I was just like, they're just curving bullets, and there's mice with bombs on them. I I was like, it just looked like Angelina Jolie needed to eat something. I just couldn't get into it. I wasn't buying that movie. James McAvoy was great in the movie. He did what he could. There were some like okay elements. Morgan Freeman was Morgan Freeman in the movie, but overall, I just thought it was like a product of its times. And I just, by the third act of the movie, I clocked out. Mike McCarty, Westworld season 3 episode 1 was very strong. Well, maybe I'll give it a try. I don't currently have HBO, the app. I did at one time. I did watch True Detective season 3, which no one talked about. No one talked about True Detective season 3, and I thought it was pretty good. It was way better than season 2. That was an abomination. Team Card Games. Thanks for the super chat. Overall thoughts on Disney's live action remakes. I have yet to see one that I was truly impressed by. Okay, that's a lie. The Jungle Book remake I actually thought was better than the animated Jungle Book. I thought that was the one remake that Disney did that added something that was stronger than the original source material. But other than that, I'm trying to think of another live action remake. The Lion King was really just added nothing new. Aladdin was... They tried, like they sort of tried, but I thought they lost the tone of what made Aladdin so great. And I think Guy Ritchie directing that movie wasn't the best directing choice. They were already at a disadvantage having Will Smith trying to replace Robin Williams. And he did okay, but Robin Williams is the genie. What else was there? There's the Mulan movie. And then we have Little Mermaid coming. We have a few other... They're pretty much remaking everything. I'm waiting to see the Sword in the Stone remake. That's the one remake I want to see because I think that's one of the most underrated Disney animated films of all time. And I would like to see that remake with Merlin. It's just a fun time. I like to see wizards dueling. I don't know. Gabe Kelly. Favorite movie that most people haven't seen? A lot of movies out there. Favorite movie that people haven't seen? I feel like no one talks about the movie The Patriot, starring Mel Gibson. I love that film. No one talks about the movie Blood Diamond, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Also really love that film. I think those are both really underrated films. I don't know. You guys can chime in. We can talk about some movies that you guys feel like that are great that no one has seen. I hated the ending of True Detective Season 3. Yeah, that was my one complaint with True Detective Season 3. The ending sort of like... It felt like it had 15 different endings. It never wanted to end. And the ending was a little bit questionable. I felt like there was more they could have done. Yeah, I agree with you. I also thought maybe a bit more ambiguous of an ending would have been better as well, too. Thoughts on Mindhunter? Mindhunter was amazing. That was probably one of my favorite Netflix series ever, right beside Stranger Things. And I think that they're actually not bringing back a new season of Mindhunter, which is really unfortunate because I thought it was amazing. I love serial killers. I love things based on that, and the fact that this was sort of based in reality with a little bit of fiction to blend it all together, I thought that was perfect. So yeah, I loved it. And David Fincher helped direct and produce the first season and second season. I know he directed the first episode, right? But yeah, I hope they bring back a new season. Aristocats the remake. Ugh. They actually didn't they have a Lady and the Tramp remake, but no one watched it or talked about it? Doesn't that exist somewhere? The Black Cauldron would be a cool live action remake from Rob K. Yeah, I agree. That could work. I have not watched The Black Cauldron since 1998. I know that was sort of one of the overlooked Disney movies of the 1980s. John Gomez, favorite Kung Fu martial arts movie? Mine's Raid. So what if I'm asking just talk about the Raid? Yeah, so favorite martial arts film? Would you consider the first Matrix technically that? I know Kung Fu. Yeah, I think The Raid was probably one of the best modern day ones. I really enjoyed the first Raid movie. The second one, not so much. Ever watch Black Sails? No, never watched Black Sails. Can you talk about Disney Plus? I can talk about Disney Plus if you really want me to. Renato Rosenberg, you think this is a pandemic? BS. It's done by the fall. No, I don't think what's happening right now will always be around. Just less people might have it. It might not be as big of an issue, but this virus will always be floating around unless they completely vaccinate everyone and completely cure it. But as long as somebody has this, it will continue on in society and continue to keep going person to person. But the great news is maybe one day they will have vaccines, so if everyone can get vaccinated and not worry about it. But the unfortunate truth is not everyone's going to do that. So just like everything else, it will still exist, but the effect might not be as disruptive. There's a lot of other pandemics that have happened or other things in the past with different viruses, and they still exist. They're still around. They just the effects are much smaller than they were originally. But I'm not a CDC expert, guys. I'm a guy who talks about movies online. Gabe Obscure, Netflix recommendation, please. And my baby mama enjoyed Tremors for the first time. The movie, what a good movie! What's a good movie like that? Tremors is the perfect movie just to turn your brain off, eat popcorn, and watch Kevin Bacon try not to be eaten by a giant earthworm. I agree. Some feel-good movies right now you could probably watch. Well, I'll tell you what I watched on Netflix, and I would have to go through all the Netflix movies right now to give you some really good recommendations. I can tell you two things, though. Over on Amazon Prime, you can watch Over the Top and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. So those are two recommendations. But with Netflix, I watched Back to the Future Part 3 the other night because I wanted a movie to take me to my happy place. I wanted a movie that would make me forget about everything happening and just take me on an adventure that was fun. And I wanted to watch Doc scream at Marty. Marty! That's what I needed. And I wanted to watch, Biff try to hang Marty in the first 20 minutes of the movie. That's what I needed. So, yeah, I would probably say go watch Back to the Future 3. It's a happy place movie that just makes you forget about reality for a little bit. Is Back to the Future Part 1 and 2 both on Netflix right now? All I saw was Part 3. Part 2 is my favorite movie. But I think 3 is the most happy of the 3 Back to the Future movies. And plus I like the Wild West setting. I don't know why. I needed something like that. Something a little bit immersive. Russ Rogers. Thanks for the super chat. Mary F. Kill, Patrick Bateman, Louis Bloom, Lincoln Hawk. Also choose one to no longer exist. Over the Top, Nightcrawler, American Psycho. I can't choose that. I'm probably going to marry Patrick Bateman because I don't know. Because I like to return videotapes. And I'll marry Lincoln Hawk from Over the Top because he has a lot of baby oil. If I had to pick one never to exist, I can't decide that. I can't decide that. Night King 01. Is Shawshank still your favorite movie of all time? No. Night King, you've been on the live streams, every live stream. I've said Nightcrawler's my favorite movie thus far right now. If I had to make a top 20 list, Nightcrawler is probably one. I find it the most rewatchable, the most enjoyable, the most immersive. But Shawshank is definitely still up there on the list. Oh, that was a terrible Morgan Freeman impression. I'm losing my voice. Gabe Obscure, thank you for becoming a YouTube member, man. Thank you for that. Hi, I am Todd Did. Have you seen Verotica, and what's your favorite workout? Verotica? I feel like you asked me this once before, and I don't remember. Oh, yes, this piece of shit. Yeah, I have not seen this movie. I'm not going to waste my time watching it. My favorite workout, I liked arm day when I went to the gym, but now I don't go to the gym because I'm afraid to go to the gym. And oddly enough, the gym is still open. The movie theaters are closed, but the gym is still open. How does that make any sense? But yeah, when I went to the gym, I loved a good arm day. I like to get the biceps all vascular and pumped up. Gabe Obscure, thanks for becoming a member, man. Now I can see your name in a cool little green highlight with a little symbol beside it. Can't you work out at home? Yeah, you can work out at home. I actually, so I went to a sporting goods store today, and there was like 5 people in there, and I recorded like a short vlog video. Maybe I'll put it together. I have another vlog video where I go to look for toilet paper. Maybe I'll combine both of them. I was actually looking to buy some workout equipment for my home. Now, I live in an apartment. I don't have a lot of space right now. I do have some resistant bands, but I wanted to buy some dumbbells or something like that to work out at home. And dude, dumbbells cost like $40 a dumbbell. Like, I'm not paying, I don't want to pay $80 for a set of dumbbells, right? That's just crazy to me. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just do push-ups or something. I don't know. My form of exercise right now is to go on hikes. You go out to a path that no one goes to, and you just hike, and you become one with nature, and you stay away from society and isolate yourselves. That's my recommendation for some exercise, and that's what I think I'm going to do. Jason Dolan. Thanks for becoming a member, Jason. Thank you, man. Have you seen Bronson? Get in here and oil my ass. I need my armor. Yeah, I've seen Bronson. Yes, I don't love Bronson, but I really enjoy it. I thought it could have been a little bit better than it was, but I did enjoy Bronson. I thought the story was interesting, and Tom Hardy was great in that movie. Thoughts on WrestleMania in an empty arena? Yeah, that's sort of like, I get what they're doing. It's better than nothing, right? But WrestleMania in an empty, small little warehouse arena with no one watching it. Like I said earlier, sporting events, what makes those so fun and amazing is the live audience, the reaction, right? And when you watch wrestling without a live audience, it doesn't sell as well, and it's sort of a little bit anticlimactic. So yeah, here's what I would say with WrestleMania. Clearly, they can't have it in an arena with 70,000 people. But what I think WWE should do right now is they should have their first ever off season, like every other sports does, NFL, NBA, whatever. They have an off season. So why doesn't WWE implement the first ever off season for the next 3 months? Hopefully things clear up or they get worse. I don't know. But have a 3-month off season. Then maybe around August, or I don't know. What month is it? April, May, June. So we'll say in July or August, right? Then have WrestleMania. Or if things don't clear up, then have WrestleMania in the Performance Center. But why waste it right now? There's no need. John, talk about your TV issues. Okay, I'll talk about my TV issues. Yeah, so it's called vertical banding, and I bought this very expensive LG OLED TV like 3 years ago, and I saw like last year there's this like vertical strip that's about 4 inches wide that goes from the top of the TV to the bottom, and like in this vertical strip, all the pixels are just slightly lighter in color than the rest of the TV, and you don't really notice it unless like you see a solid color on the TV or there's a scene that pans across a whole bunch of stuff. Most people, I think like 92% of people would never notice this, but I'm an anal retentive asshole who looks at every pixel on my TV, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. So that's the current issue I'm having. And the thing is, I called LG when my warranty had just run out like 2 weeks before that, and they're like, oh, nothing we can do. So that's my current issue. Renato Rosenberg, I'm not talking about your total earnings from YouTube, but what was your best month ever on YouTube? If you're talking about YouTube AdSense or maybe like YouTube sponsorships, that really depends. I would say YouTube AdSense wise, when YouTube actually gave content creators more than a few pennies, was probably back around 2015 to 2015 or 2016. I'm going to say 2015 and the early part of 2016. Really, honestly, it was like, it was when it's when I did a lot of movie news videos, and it's when I talked about Batman v Superman, especially. That was a good time on YouTube. That was probably some of the best times, at least for YouTube AdSense, and also for views. That was right before YouTube implemented their new algorithm, which just completely destroyed both of my channels. Yeah, for about 2 years, every time I uploaded a video, I would lose subscribers, and for the 8 years before that, when I made YouTube videos, that never happened. It just happened randomly one day. And I was told by someone that worked at YouTube that's exactly what happened. They pretty much flipped a switch on the algorithm, and if it either helped your channel or destroyed your channel. So, but we're not talking about that. There's more important things to talk about, like Night King 01's question, Cliffhanger or Demolition Man? When times are dark and the world's at panic, that's the question I want to answer. It just depends what you want. You know, if you want to watch a movie where the last remaining restaurant is Taco Bell, Demolition Man is going to be your movie. And in times like this, when you run out of TP, well, now it's time to use the 3 seashells. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes, where they freeze Stallone like a popsicle. I think the better movie is actually Cliffhanger. I'd probably go with Cliffhanger as the better movie, but if you want pure 90s cheese, watch Demolition Man. Have you seen Outbreak? I have not watched it yet, but I need to. You've Got Mail or Sleepless in Seattle? Sleepless in Seattle is the best one, but You've Got Mail definitely aged, right? Like, who's communicating through emails anymore? Like, it's like, just use the Tinder app. You know, Tom Hanks, come on. All right. Answer a few more super chats here. Dancing with Nintendo Stars. What's the sponsor for this video? You guys are the sponsor, so thank you guys. No sponsor in these videos, man. It's just raw, visceral entertainment from my mouth to your ears or your eyeballs. However you want to take it, that's how I'm going to give it to you. All right. Flatground 900. Have you seen Memories of a Murder by Bong Joon-ho? I have not seen that movie. Memories of a... Maybe I have. Let me see. Memories of a Murder. Memories of a Murder, 2003, 1986. I have not seen that. I'm trying to catch up on all of his previous films. I did recently, for the second time ever, watch Snowpiercer. That's a great movie that you guys should watch on Netflix if you're bored sitting at home. Pretty soon we will all be sitting inside of a train instead of our houses. But yeah, I did watch Snowpiercer. I really liked that movie. I liked it way more the second time I watched it recently than the first time. Really great film. Farrell Lovely, thank you for the super chat. But you didn't ask a question. Something about a rowing machine from Gabe. I don't usually use rowing machines. I'm more of a dumbbell cable kind of guy. The crazy thing is they shut my apartment complex gym down. It's like a room that 10 people go to, and they shut that down, which is crazy. It's crazy, guys. I don't know. Obi-Wan Toady, pretty please vlog the magical and mystical hike. Maybe I could vlog a hike or something. I'm not opposed to it. Best rated R comic book film. Logan, right? I'm going to go with Logan on that one. You got to go with Logan. Ronaldo Rosenberg. I'm not asking about your total earnings from YouTube, but what was your best month ever? Did I just answer that, or am I crazy? Best month ever, usually around November, December. It's when companies want to start paying more for ad CPM on YouTube, because it's the time that people buy things. So probably like, I don't know, 2015, November of 2015. Remember, the 5th of November. The YouTube AdSense earnings were great. But typically around November time, that's when YouTube AdSense is the best. Ozzy Perez. Best duo, Stallone Schwarzenegger or De Niro Pacino. You know, what's the worst thing about that is Stallone and Schwarzenegger never teamed up when they were both in their prime. Like in the 1980s, had those two teamed up, oh yes please, the baby oil would have been flowing. And then you had De Niro and Pacino that sort of teamed up in a few movies in their later years, and their first ever like on-screen scene together was in the film Heat. So I would say De Niro and Pacino because they've been in some of the better movies together. When it comes to Schwarzenegger and Stallone, I mean, what do we have? We had the the prison escape movie, whatever that was, and then we had a few of the Expendables movies, which were, yeah. I just really disappointed that we never got them in their prime. Have you seen Outbreak? Yeah, Outbreak's on Netflix right now. I have seen some. I've watched Outbreak probably 2 times in my life, and I don't really love the movie. I don't know. It feels so 90s. I'd probably rather watch Contagion right now. I'd probably like to watch World War Z as well. Night King 01. Oh, I already answered this. Okay, I'm crazy, guys. I'm sorry. Russ Rogers. Thanks for the super chat. Should I organize my movies by genre? Have you seen Rules of Attraction or Hobo with a Shotgun? Whatever happened to your Uncle Gary? Favorite 70s film? That was the oddest mix of questions I've ever read in my life. All right, so Uncle Gary was a name I gave my real uncle. So yeah, he's in an insane asylum somewhere on the East Coast right now. And then as far as I have seen Rules of Attraction. That was actually written by the same guy who wrote American Psycho, the novel, and I love Rules of Attraction. That's definitely an underrated film that no one really watches, starring James Van Der Beek, but it's definitely a dark film. I enjoy it. I like some of the narration of James Van Der Beek's character in that movie. And have I seen Hobo with a Shotgun? I have seen Hobo with a Shotgun like 1 time. Favorite 70s film? Probably Taxi Driver. Hey, you see that window up there? No, the one to the right of it. Yeah, you know who lives there? Gabe Isker, please look into Snowpiercer, Willy Wonka theory. I'm all on it. I'm all in on it. What is the Snowpiercer, Willy Wonka theory? I will look into that, but it frightens me. Danker Spy, top 3 favorite movies. Keep up the good work. Top 3 favorite movies. If I had to make a top 20 list off the top of my head instantaneously right now for you guys, I'd probably go with Nightcrawler, Shawshank, and the third one would be... Ooh, that's tough. I don't know. Maybe Point Break? And that's not a joke. I don't know. I don't know what my third one would be. You're a little bit magical, a little bit mystical. Don't get scared now, Sour Patches. Thank you, Robert Bartson. All right, guys, what I'm going to do is, since we've been talking for 2 hours, I'm going to take just a couple minute break. So if you guys want to take a restroom break, go refill your popcorn, put a few more ice cubes in your drink, grab a few more Sour Patch Kids, whatever you want to do. Now's the time. I'm going to answer one more question because he just submitted it right now. But yeah, let me answer this, and I'm gonna take a quick break. Russell L. Waxon, when you were young and you watched a movie with your parents, what happened during the scenes that were nasty for you to see? I had to cover my eyes. My parents were always pretty lenient with me, and that's probably why I am like I am today. Like, I'll give you an example. I remember my family rented Pulp Fiction from Blockbuster, and the scene where the Gimp scene down in the pawn shop basement came on, and I was allowed to watch that. My parents never sheltered me from R-rated movies. And I think that was a really good thing. I really did. I think from a certain point, it sort of matures you and sort of opens up your eyes as a kid. And my parents definitely didn't shelter me. So yeah, I remember watching the Pulp Fiction Gimp scene with my parents, and that was awkward. So John didn't answer. How do I organize my movies, John? Yes, Russ Rogers. I'm going to talk about how I organize my movies. Because that was a question up here, right? Also, Russ Rogers said, have you seen Mysterious Skin? I really love it. I've not seen Mysterious Skin. So real quick, oh, God, you guys are asking a lot of questions. Jessica, I'm going to get to them all real quick, and then I'm going to take a break. Jesse Escada. Which YouTubers do you watch? I watch a lot of YouTubers. I actually watch the majority of stuff I watch on YouTube isn't movie-related videos. It's actually stuff about like business or vlogs or lifestyle channels or how-to videos or tutorial videos or things like that. I watch one guy I watch on YouTube who sort of has like a fitness lifestyle channel is Max Tuning. I like his videos. They're really well made. He makes really good vlogs. He has like a fitness business. He has a candy business. That's one guy I watch on YouTube. But I watch a little bit of everybody on YouTube. I watch things that you probably would never guess that I watch. Like I watch APS, After Prison Show. I've never been to prison, but I watch it because it's just his vlog videos are sort of intriguing to me. But I watch a little bit of everything. I'd actually have to go down my subscriber list to give you an accurate description of what I watch. Kickback TV, John, Signs or The Sixth Sense? Signs all day. I think for rewatchability, I'd probably go with Signs. Plus, they wear tinfoil hats, and in that movie, they sort of lock themselves in their house as a global phenomenon takes place, relatable to what's happening now. Yeah, I'd probably go with. I think Signs is. I don't think it's necessarily the better film by M. Night Shyamalan, but I think it's the more rewatchable film. Have you seen any controversial films? I've seen a lot of controversial films. Irreversible was one of them. Don't watch that movie with your parents. All right, guys, I'm going to take a quick break. So, yeah, if you guys just give me like 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. And I'll be right back with you guys. I'm going to get something to drink. And, yeah, I'll be right back. And I'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Hey there, guys, and welcome back. By the way, I did forget to mention this live stream is brought to you by Sour Patch Kids, who aren't actually sponsoring me, but they should have years ago. Delicious. And these were always, when you're in the post-apocalyptic wastelands, this is the only thing that's going to keep me alive. I love them. All right, so let's get back to a few questions here. Dusto, Jennifer Love Hewitt or Shannon Elizabeth, late 90s, early 2000s versions, obviously. I'm glad you made that clear. I'd probably go with Shannon Elizabeth from, dude, American Pie. Yeah. On VHS, I think we all paused that. Don't judge. You did it. All right. Oh, gosh. All right. Dan5271 just finished watching Space Jam right now. What are your thoughts? I liked Space Jam. I know they're making a new movie. It's probably gonna have like LeBron James in it. Hopefully they have like some kind of tribute to Kobe in that movie. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I always liked it, but never. I was like, when I was a '90s kid, I was like watching Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. Ronaldo Rosenberg, why does Jeremy Johns rub you the wrong way? Have I ever said that? I don't think he's never rubbed me the wrong way. All right, let's keep going here. And I was asked earlier, how do I organize my movies? By genre, by alphabetical order? I just don't organize them at all. What I do is some people just want to watch the world burn. It's chaos back there. When I go to my shelf, I never know what I'm going to reach for or grab. And sometimes when you think you want to watch a certain movie, when they're not organized, you come across another movie you never would have thought of watching. Now, I would like them to be organized, maybe alphabetically, but also I'm more of a genre guy because it sort of takes me back to like the video store. When you went to the video store, it was by genre. So when you're in that mood, that vibe, you want to see sci-fi or a Western movie or an action movie, you sort of want to go to that section and then pick out a movie from there. So what I would like is to organize them by genre and then alphabetical order within the genre. But if I did that, I would just be back there cataloging my movies for the next 6 months. But then again, we're probably not leaving our houses for the next 6 months, so it'll be fine. Which video game should be turned into a movie? That comes from Night King 01. I've said this before, and I'm just going to say it again. I think Zombies Ate My Neighbors would be the perfect video game movie. It's funny. Everyone likes zombies. And I think there's a lot you could do with that. I think that would be the perfect fun video game movie. And right beside that, I'm glad that we're getting a new Mortal Kombat movie. That's something I've been waiting for a very long time. I'm hoping that we get a good Mortal Kombat movie. So hopefully that. But yeah, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I need that. I've wanted that my entire life. Russ Rogers, do you remember the Tire Nazi? I love that video. Yeah, I do. If you guys go back on this channel right here, I have a very, very old vlog video where I go to buy tires, and there was this guy that lived in my town who sold tires, and he was just a weird, kooky, recluse guy. And if you asked too many questions about tires, he would scream at you. So they nicknamed him the Tire Nazi. Renato Rosenberg, I think back in 2016 you were on Juicy Juice. Dude, I just lived in the gym. I just was living in the gym, drinking creatine. I was probably taking Chinese supplements. I don't know. But man, I did everything I possibly could. I can tell you that. But nothing too extreme. I can promise you that. And really, to be honest with you, right now, as far as how much I weigh and how much I weighed back in 2015, 2016, it's really like a 5-pound difference. And that's when I was eating 6 meals a day, going to the gym 7 days a week. I mean, I lived in the gym, man. Most overrated movie that everyone loves, mine, Citizen Kane, are The Labyrinth. I don't meet a lot of people who love The Labyrinth with David Bowie. Citizen Kane, I've seen it one time. I actually think 12 Angry Men is a better classic when it comes to films. But as far as the overall the production of filming a movie. Citizen Kane did a lot of cool shots that no one has ever done or seen before, so it sort of paved the way. I think there's a lot of overrated movies. I don't think Citizen Kane would necessarily be the one I pick, but honestly I think the first Frozen movie is quite possibly the most overrated film of all time. Mike McCarthy, do you have any info on Jordan Voight-Roberts' Kong Skull Island Metal Gear Solid movie? I have no info on that. I know nothing about it. I know it was in production or pre-production, but I don't know anything about the Metal Gear Solid movie at all. Russell L. Waxon, would you rather be hobbled by Annie Wilkes or lobotomized by Nurse Ratched? Probably lobotomized, honestly. Just lobotomize me, put me in a happy place. That, or I want to go into the basement like all those dudes were in the movie Inception, where they were just like in ketosis or whatever, like just living in a dream reality. Take me there. I want to live in that reality. I want to go 15 layers down and just live there. All right. Renato Rosenberg. Logan was perfection, but the ending was cheese. Yeah, the only thing I didn't love about Logan was he had to fight a clone version of himself. I thought out of all the villains you could do, I thought maybe there's something more they could have done with that, possibly. Or what I also thought was a missed opportunity, and some people disagree with me on this, and I say, well, you're wrong. When Logan was starting to lose his powers, wouldn't you have liked to see him put on some kind of armor suit with a little bit of protection on it, maybe a Kevlar suit that sort of was reminiscent to the original Wolverine costume? I'm not saying he had to dress in yellow spandex and run around saying bub every 5 seconds. I'm just saying maybe somehow, some way, he wears like this weaponized suit that has like a tactical purpose. Or maybe the clone version of him could have wore this suit. Right? He is a clone. He was made by a corporation. Why is the clone version of Wolverine wearing a black tank top? Like, don't you think they would have like put a tactical suit on him? I don't know. That's just me. But I thought they could have done something like that. But I love Logan. Bearded John coming soon? Maybe a really shitty beard. I can grow like a really shitty 3.5. I can grow a shitty 330 shadow. That's what I can do. Favorite movie of the year so far? Well, there's not a lot to pick from. We don't have really any movies, and we're not going to have any more. Favorite movie, if I had to pick one from 2020? I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite movie of the year so far. There's not a lot to pick from. That's hard to say. I sort of felt like Onward was slightly underrated. That's my opinion. Gabe Obscure, should they take Bond back to 1950? Maybe 1950s, 1960s. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, if the Daniel Craig is gonna be the last incarnation of this Bond, and they sort of reboot it, they either have to reboot it stylistically to make it feel different and go a different direction, or take it back to the 1950s or 60s, which would be kind of cool. I just don't know if modern day audiences would love a different time period. Like I would personally. Like I love every movie. If a movie can take place in the 1990s or the 1980s, it already has my attention. So yeah, I would like to see that. Jesse Escada, American Werewolf in London or The Howling? I've never seen The Howling. I have seen American Werewolf in London. I like that film. I like the practical effects. But I have not seen that film in probably 15 years. Renato Rosenberg, your goofy humor is ideal. This format, keep it up, man. Well, thanks, man. I'm glad I can entertain you. And to be honest with you guys, you're entertaining me as well, because I have nothing better to do. Jarrell Blue, thanks for the super chat, Jarrell. Danny Elfman's Batman score or Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel? All right, that's a tough question, and that's actually, I think a similar question has been asked before, because every live stream I answer probably 600 questions or more, and I would probably go with, for me, if I had to listen to one on a CD, I do have CDs, don't judge me. I'd probably listen to Hans Zimmer's Man of Steel score. It's awesome, it's epic. I listen to it in the gym, but the Danny Elfman's Batman score still has a special place, and it still reminds me of being a kid, listening to it, jumping around on the couch with a towel wrapped around my neck. But if I had to listen to one like in the gym, I'm probably, actually, you know what? The original Batman score would actually get me pretty pumped up. But I love Zimmer. All right. What's your favorite foreign film you've seen? Probably, honestly, Parasite, or I would say Old Boy. Those are probably two of my favorite foreign films of all time. Sorry, guys, my nose itches. Oh my god. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Ugh. Okay. John, how would you have ended Game of Thrones? I would have ended it nothing like they ended it. Go the opposite direction of what they did. Whatever that is, that's the ending I would have had. You know what I would have done? I would have actually had a payoff or a climax that felt fulfilling. Like, I would have actually had Jon Snow have more of a confrontation with the Night King that actually mattered and you felt something, rather than them looking at each other from 100 feet away and going, and just walking away from each other. Like, you wasted 8 years of our lives for that. Whatever. Forgot to ask, Black Widow delayed, have you talked about it in the stream? Yes, Gabe, that was the main topic of the stream. If you go back to the first 10 minutes of the stream, I talk all about Black Widow being delayed movies, VOD movies, and I give some groundbreaking news that was released to me right before I did the stream. So if you guys want to go back and watch the first part of the stream after this is uploaded, go for it. Russell L. Waxon, by the way, I love that movie. Or, I'm sorry, I love that name. Deadpool Wolverine with Jackman or get a new actor. Deadpool Wolverine with Jackman. If Jackman wants to come back, have Jackman do it. If not, please get Tom Hardy as the new Wolverine and have him stop doing Venom. Last Jedi or Solo? I hated Solo. I hated that movie. That didn't feel like a real Star Wars movie to me at all. So I would say anything over Solo. The Star Wars Christmas special over Solo. Evernull Osco? Aye, my boy, Flick Pick, we lit up in here. Well, thanks, man. We are lit up in here. All right, this one comes from the Freak Table. Longtime fan from Sweden. I love your videos. Which movie did you put on in your teens for the special alone time and you can't pick the GIMP scene? American Pie, maybe, I suppose. I think that's what all my friends were talking about in 1999 or 2000. Night King 01, Ben-Hur or Lawrence of Arabia? What about the Ten Commandments? Probably, maybe Lawrence of Arabia. Maybe. I don't know. I thought Ben-Hur was great. I mean, the 20-minute chariot scene in Ben-Hur was always awesome. The fact that he did that with practical effects and stunts and people, and that was like one of the most large-scale actual film scenes that they have ever filmed up until that point. But yeah, I don't. Honestly, I remember watching both those films back in like 2010. But man, off the top of my head, I don't know. I just go with Lawrence of Arabia. Okay, guys, scrolling back, making sure I didn't miss any questions here, and I'm probably did. Uh, Rindler, Rinnlador. I really hated The Last Jedi to the point I didn't even bother to see Rise of Skywalker in the theater, but I saw it uploaded to this torrent site. Should I torrent it? You do whatever makes you happy, man. You do whatever makes you happy. I honestly don't even think you should bother watching it, to be honest. All right. I think I caught up on the super chats over there. I don't want to leave any man behind. That's my motto. All right. John, talk about Emilio Estevez. Well, Emilio Estevez as Coach Gordon Bombay was one of the most fantastical characters of all time. He's a drunk driving asshole lawyer who redeems himself by coaching an inner city hockey team and leads them to victory. I really enjoy that movie. I like Emilio Estevez. By the way, speaking of Emilio Estevez, here's a movie that's underrated and underappreciated that no one talks about, and it's called Judgment Night. I believe this came out in 1992, and it also stars Jeremy Piven in it. Great film. So awesome. It's about this group of guys going to a football game who take the wrong exit in their RV, and it sort of becomes the movie slowly turns into like Escape from New York, where this gang of guys are after them and they have to defend themselves. Judgment Night is a good, fun, cheesy 90s movie. I recommend watching it. Russ Rogers. Have you seen Sly Stallone's porno? I think I have. I think I saw a clip, I believe. Black Hawk Down or Saving Private Ryan? I'm going to go with Saving Private Ryan. I wasn't a huge fan of Black Hawk Down. It sort of felt like it just wasn't like, I didn't tonally like the way the movie looked or shot. It sort of felt like a Michael Bay movie. But yeah, I definitely go with Saving Private Ryan. I mean, I don't think those two are comparable, to be honest. Is it true Lou Diamond Phillips is your favorite actor? Absolutely. Hacksaw Ridge or Dunkirk? I could go with either. I think Dunkirk is more of the spectacle film, but I think Hacksaw Ridge has actually more of the story with the characters. John, best Robert Pattinson movie, Lighthouse or Good Time? I think I'd probably say Good Time. If you want a solid Robert Pattinson performance, that's a little bit more captivating to me. I would probably say I would say Good Time. And that film's also a little bit more easier. It's easier to digest. John, what's your resting heart rate? What's your resting heart rate? I don't know, 6,000 over 2? I don't know. People have always told me for years, don't drink too many of these. The truth is, I'm numb to these. I have an immunity to these. I feel nothing. I could chug this right now, and my heart wouldn't skip a beat. Mortal Kombat Annihilation or Batman and Robin? I will go with Batman and Robin. Both atrocious, but Batman and Robin at least was slightly entertaining. Mortal Kombat Annihilation was so cheap and sad. And I remember that movie had no money and they didn't even market it, or there was no trailers. And I was a huge fan of the first Mortal Kombat movie. Went to see it at theaters, bought the VHS tape. And I remember one day we walked into Blockbuster and I looked over on the side of the wall and there was Mortal Kombat Annihilation. I was like, whoa, what is this? Is this real? Is this like a spin-off or like a direct to VHS movie? And no, it was the legitimate sequel to that movie. And I watched it and I was so excited. Like, I was so excited. We rented it. I ran home and I put it in, and the first 3 seconds of the movie, it's just like it's starring half of the cast who are B-rate actors replacing the original cast. And they kill off Johnny Cage. And it's just like, what is this trash? Russell L. Waxon. I saw Stallone's movie. I wasn't impressed. Nor was I. All right. Favorite energy drink. Typically, I drink Bang energy drinks, but right now I'm drinking the Monsters. These are my second favorite. But typically, I like the Bang energy drinks. How should the MCU handle the X-Men? I think they should just start making the movies in their own universe because now we have a multiverse thanks to Avengers Endgame, right? So why not have in another universe you have the X-Men and just make it their own thing? Because if you go too heavy-handed with blending the X-Men with the Avengers and all the other current MCU heroes, it sort of dilutes the X-Men because the thing that makes them special is they're mutants, right? And if you have Thor show up, it's like, why isn't he considered a mutant too? So I think you have to keep them somewhat separate, and maybe you can intertwine them in some kind of crossover multi-universe movie, whatever. But I think the X-Men should be their own thing, and I think that leaves more opportunity to go into that universe and explore all those opportunities. And also you can still focus on the Marvel superhero Avengers films, so you can have two different things, both making a whole bunch of money. And I think that would be the smartest move. I think they should each have their own time and dedication to really do what they need to. Russ, I was walking around in. I can't. You guys are going really quick here. I was walking around in my godforsaken neighborhood earlier, and it legit felt like the beginning of 28 Days Later. Yeah, it is feeling like that. We were driving around earlier, and it's usually really busy around like 6 o'clock here. And dude, it was pretty dead. And a lot of places are closing down for 2 weeks, and it's scary times. But at the same time, if things can just die down for just 2 weeks, and maybe that helps, then why not do it? I'm hoping everyone does. Should there be an Indiana Jones 5? Should there be an Indiana Jones 5? Yes. Am I glad that Steven Spielberg is handing the reins over to maybe another director who's more excited, who can bring some more vitality and new ideas to it? That excites me a lot. And I did talk about this extensively on a live stream that I did maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. If you guys want to watch that, it's right here on this channel, is along with every other live stream I've done. But yeah, I think there should be an Indiana Jones 5. Indy can't go out with Kingdom of the Crystal Alien Skull. They got to redeem that character. He deserves better. So yes, I do agree. There should be another one. What's the most disturbing movie you've seen in recent years? Probably The Fanatic. I just couldn't believe movies could be so bad, but yet still taken seriously. Rhonda Cox, what do you think about? I think about a multitude of things. I think about how's the world going to end. I think about the rules of gravitational pull. I think about the space-time continuum. I think about going to another galaxy. I think about the Andromeda Galaxy, which is the closest galaxy to us, but still takes 20 million light years to reach. And I think, is there other life on that galaxy? I think about our own evolution, our own demise. How will things end? Will this be the end? Will this pandemic end us? And I also think about Sour Patch Kids. Are you binging any shows at the moment? From Movie Squad. Nah, not really binging. I did binge season 4 of Better Call Saul because for somehow I missed watching that entire season. So I binge watched all that in like 2 days. And now I'm catching. I'm currently watching the new season of Better Call Saul, but I'm not really binge watching any shows. Renato Rosenberg, do you see Nick Cage as a new Captain America? I wish we would have saw Nick Cage as Superman back in 1998. Probably not Captain America, though. Daskmaster 25. Daskmaster 25? Opinion on extreme cinema, like Siberian Film, etc. I don't really watch it, man. It's just, I watch movies for escapism and not just crazy weird shit that you can find on the dark web. Not for me. I don't mind crazy things happening in movies. Don't get me wrong, but like to watch a whole movie like that, just it's almost soul draining. Lighthouse is a 99-cent rental on iTunes right now. Yeah, go watch Lighthouse. Whoa, dude, you missed my super chat. I missed nothing. What are you talking about? If I did, I'll find it, I promise. Give me 1 second. Sometimes super chats do not update on my end, so... Okay, here you go. Russell Waxon, tell us a bad date night story. I don't even know where to begin with that, man. Where do you begin with that? I mean, I've had to clean up puke. Is that a good one? I guess. I don't know. Doyle's status. Have you seen 28 Weeks Later? I have seen all the 28 Weeks Later movies, 28 Days Later movies. I have seen them. I thought the first one was the best. I don't remember a lot of details about the other ones after that. I just remember that the first movie was actually shot on digital videotape and it looks atrocious on Blu-ray. But yeah, the first one's the best. The second ones I don't remember too much about. Would you watch Sly Stallone's musical? Absolutely, please. Hey, I don't know. Ain't about being the best, is about doing your best. That's the Stallone musical. Thank you. Yes, thank you. All right, let's answer a few more questions here, or as I attempt to catch up. Thoughts on Red Dragon? I love Red Dragon. Oh gosh, I love that movie. I love anything with Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter, and Red Dragon does that movie. He is in that movie for like a total of like 10 minutes, but it's so great. I love it. Do you see? He's transforming. Do you see? Yes, Red Dragon's phenomenal. I actually like the remake of Red Dragon by Brett Ratner more than the original 80s movie. The 80s one just felt so 80s. I thought the Brett Ratner one, which was probably the best thing Brett Ratner ever did, was pretty good. I enjoyed the Red Dragon. All right. Let me read some other... trying to find everything here so I don't miss anything. All right. Favorite glorified cameo? Mine is Will Ferrell in Wedding Crashers. Yeah, that's a good one when he shows up at the end and he lives with his mother. Glorified cameo. I mean, in the first Expendables, Arnold's essentially had a glorified cameo scene. I'm trying to think of a few other cameo scenes that were pretty good. I mean, all of the Marvel films had... Oh, you know what it is? Bill Murray in Zombieland was one of the best cameos ever. That was a phenomenal scene where he comes back as a fake zombie. Also, Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction, where he's telling that story about putting the watch up his ass, was a pretty good cameo. Hi, I am We Todd did. Thanks for the super chat. John, what's a Hollywood trend that you want directors to stop doing? For me, I hate when you know when a jump scare is coming. Yeah, the jump scares. It's like the suspenseful music leads up to the jump scare, or you know it's just going to happen because it's like they have to do it because it's a new modern day film. For me, one trend I hated in Hollywood was it was sort of like to get out of actually making your star learn choreography or do stunts was shaky cam. I thought that was terrible. What was it? Was it Paul? Is it Michael or Paul Green? Is it Paul Greengrass? Yeah, I absolutely thought he ruined the Bourne films with his shaky cam style. Some people like those movies. For me, a little bit of shaky cam in an intense situation is okay, but when the whole movie it looks like the cameraman just can't hold the camera steady, it becomes obnoxious. It becomes almost nauseating to me. Like, there's nothing wrong with a handheld camera shot that actually looks like they're holding the camera and trying their best to keep focus on the action. But when the camera guy is going like this, it's just like, come on, steady hands, steady hands. Russ Rogers, have you seen The Hannibal Show? It's an A++ in my opinion. I have not seen The Hannibal Show. There's a lot of shows I have not watched, like Dexter. I never watched Dexter, and you would think a guy like me would probably like Dexter based on my love for American Psycho, but I just haven't watched it. Ricardo Rosenberg, rate Stuckman's notes from Melanie. I give it a 2 out of 10. I would give it I'd give it like a B minus, honestly. I think there's a lot of things that could be improved, but I know what it took to make that and how much work went into it. And when you rewatch it 10 times, of course, you're going to point out a few flaws and things you could rewrite to improve it. But overall, when you try to accomplish so much in so little time with so little money, it's one of those things where it's like, why not just do everything you can, So, and it was also that was sort of like a learning process for him. It was sort of like, let's get all these ideas out because I want to be creative and make something. So I liked it. And plus I had some great cameo scenes in that. You know what? I'm going to give the movie an A+. I give it a 10 out of 10 based on my cameo scenes. That right there, going back to the glorified cameo question, my cameo in that film. Come on. When I'm out in the woods covered in oil, killing an alien or a giant insect man, you got to love it. First I pollinate, then I punish. Yes, that is true. Favorite pizza restaurant? I eat trash pizza, so I go to Pizza Hut typically. I don't eat Papa John's pizza. I worked at Papa John's as a delivery driver for a couple years. And I also worked at Pizza as a delivery driver for a couple of years. But something about Papa John's pizza, something with the dough and the crust, it gives me rashes on my face, which is never a good thing. So I don't eat Papa John's. You gotta love the Papa. Russell Waxon. How awesome would a Nightcrawler series be? I have said that 29 million times. I have pitched that so many times. We need a Nightcrawler series on Netflix. That would be phenomenal. That's what we need. I don't know why that hasn't happened. I'm hoping it is. If someone can give me like $40 million, I will make it happen. I promise you. I will go to Hollywood. I will pitch it. I will buy the rights and we will make it. You probably won't be able to afford Jake Gyllenhaal, but we'll get somebody. How big is your TV? My TV in my living room is 65 inches. All right. Please stop asking the same question 87 times. Please. I see it. What do I think about Michael Jackson? I don't know. Thriller was an amazing song and an even more amazing music video. That's what I think. Cliff Boyce. Do an Adam Sandler impression. Chlorophyll, more like borophyll. That's all I got. Quarantine, more like Boratine. How's that? Ronaldo Rosenberg. I like the fact that your favorite movie is from 2014. Way too many movie pundits are sentimental A-wipes. Yay, Citizen Kane. F out of here. Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, for me, 2014 was one of the last phenomenal years for movies. And then you have like 2019, which was like the next best year for movies, in my opinion, that had so many great films come out the same year. In 2014, we were sort of spoiled by movies. You had Whiplash, and then you had Nightcrawler come out the same year. Like two great films that aren't huge blockbuster films. They had small, moderate budgets. And what stood out was the script, the story, the acting. And that's what I love. They weren't superhero movies. And I'm hoping hopefully we get more movies like that. Or more movies like Parasite. More movies like The Lighthouse. Best Stanley Kubrick film, I think many would say The Shining. For me, my favorite, not overall though, but my favorite is probably the first act of Full Metal Jacket when they're in boot camp training. I wish the whole movie was just that. Still streaming, what a champ. Yeah, we're going on 2 hours and 42 minutes right now, guys. Don't say I never gave you anything. Oh, man. Yeah, I'll go a few more minutes here if you guys want to get some good, juicy questions in. Yeah, please. And the one questions I hate the most, though, is if you guys ask me my top 10 best of the best of this genre of this series, name your top 5 favorite directors, put them in alphabetical order and year that they came out in. Those questions are very hard to give you any answer with any bit of substance off the top of my head instantaneously. So, yeah. Favorite Fincher film? For me, it's probably Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Right behind that is probably 7. But Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I really loved that. That was one of my favorite theater experiences of all time. And speaking of theater experiences, that might be an upcoming video. Just a little insight for you guys. But thank you guys. There's 457 of you right now. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Best John Wick movie. By far the best John Wick movie is the first one. Renato Rosenberg. Fight Christian Harloff. Can't stand that schkook. I have no problems with Christian Harloff. I've met him a few times. Always really nice guy to me. I met him for the first time in 2012, and then I met him again. I've always got along with Christian. Drive or Baby Driver? I actually prefer the movie Drive. I think everything about it. If you had to compare everything, I'd probably lean towards Drive for everything. Action sequences, acting, the score. I like Drive. I love Baby Driver. It's a great fun time, but Drive to me was pretty awesome. And the funny thing is about Drive, the first time I saw it, I didn't know what to think about it. Like I was like, I don't know what my friend hated it, and I was like, I don't know what's going on with this movie, but something was there. And then I bought it on Blu-ray and rewatched it countless times and loved it. Best Maximum Overdrive quote? I don't know. I can't think of a quote from Maximum Overdrive. But I have thought about reviewing that movie for a movie night episode. I almost did it last Halloween. I was going to review Maximum Overdrive. Jordan Carter. By the way, Maximum Overdrive is sort of like what's happening now, except if the virus were semi-trucks trying to run us over. Yeah. Jordan Carter. John, been watching since 2015, man. Do you have a favorite Kung Fu movie? Long live Bruce Lee. Actually, that question was asked earlier, and we talked about The Raid for a few seconds, and I said my favorite modern-day Kung Fu movie would probably be The Raid. But my favorite Kung Fu master of all time is would probably be Neo from The Matrix. I know Kung Fu. Great live stream, man. Well, thanks, Tony Stark. I'm sorry that you're dead. Renato Rosenberg. Watch new Clone Wars season through a cheese grater. I probably won't ever watch the new Star Wars Clone Wars show, unfortunately, even though I just got Disney Plus. Manuel Elnardo. You know I can't read, Manuel, but I like you anyway. Where is the Bane mask? Waited all night. I can put the Bane mask on if you really want it. If you guys want the Bane mask, let me know. If you want the Bane mask, give the video a thumbs up, and I'll put the Bane mask on. I'll sell my body to you guys, whatever you want. Have you seen Frozen 2? I have seen Frozen 2 in the theater. I absolutely hated it. I thought it was boring. If I was an 8-year-old little girl, I would have been bored out of my mind in that movie. What a terrible, messy plot. Atrocious movie. Best space opera. Best space opera. I love Interstellar. Best space opera, honestly. I thought the first Guardians of the Galaxy was a pretty good space opera. Jesse Escada, and thank you for the super chat. Enjoy your night, John. Thank you for giving us a live stream to enjoy together. Stay safe and enjoy your Sour Patch Kids. Well, thanks, Jesse, and thank you. And big thanks to you guys once again for joining me. This live stream is blowing up. It's huge right now. We broke some records earlier for how many people were watching. And it's crazy to think that right now there's 458 of us watching, talking, and just being here live. You know, and talking about movies. It means a lot, guys, so thank you. Best tricep workout, tricep pull downs with a on the cables with one of the rope handles. That's a good one. Skull crushers are good, but you'll screw your elbows up if you go too heavy. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do it. But once I put the Bane mask on, I'm gonna do the live stream for a few more minutes because that thing sucks to wear, and I have not put I haven't put this Bane mask on in probably 3 years. Ugh, it smells like 2017. So yeah, I can put it on, but please, before I do, just give me a second here and it's hard to talk with the Bane mask on, so let me answer a few more questions. So I don't miss anything from you guys. All right. Sorry, trying to catch up here. Where are we at? I do not know. Okay. I think I answered the majority of these. Okay, good. Good. I just don't want to miss anyone's questions because I feel like an asshole if I do. I go to bed feeling guilty. It keeps me up all night, tossing and turning. I like to answer your questions. Do you watch Raw? Yeah, I typically do. Wrestling to me is like comfort food. It's just like I like it. It's the purest form of entertainment. I usually like to watch it when I eat like pizza. It's just like the thing I do on Monday nights. John, do you do meet and greets? Big fan. I'm not doing any meet and greets right now. No offense. Not unless we come in biohazard suits. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. The only time I've ever really gotten to do meet and greets was when I went to a couple like conventions. I got to meet a lot of people. That was awesome. So like the last one we went to was the one in Cleveland last year, and like 50 of you came up and said, "Hey, I watch your channel. I've been watching for years," and that was awesome. That made me feel good and warm and tingly inside. So, Ronaldo Rosenberg, you ain't fooling me. For years ago, The Rock looked natural next to you. Yeah. Dude, honestly, in my peak of working out, I weighed 212 pounds. I weigh 204 pounds now. Like, it's not hard. If you just go to the gym every day for 4 years, you're going to get bigger, I promise you. John, I love you. Can I get your autograph? Whenever I open back up my P.O. box, you can get my autograph. All right, guys, I'm gonna put this Bane mask on, and then I'm gonna do like 10 more minutes on the live stream. So if you guys have some more questions, I will answer them. And then I will probably pass out because I can't breathe in the Bane mask. So give me 2 seconds. I'm going to take one more quick break, and I will be right back.
Hello, YouTube. I make live streaming videos and I give it back to you, the people. Don't worry about the pandemic. We have Sour Patch Kids. Okay, let's answer a few more questions. Oh my. This hurts to wear. This hurts to wear. I was born on YouTube, molded by it. I didn't see Instagram until I was a young man. Alright. Cliff Boyce, thanks for the super chat. Favorite Gyllenhaal role besides Lou Bloom? I love Gyllenhaal in Prisoners. Probably that role. Somebody asked me about my favorite villains of all time. I probably go. I love Darth Vader. I think Heath Ledger's Joker. I like Tom Hardy's Bane. And I thought Josh Brolin's Thanos was pretty good. I can't breathe in this fucking thing. Who cares? Ronaldo Rosenberg. Is your virginity as safe with this mask? Probably not. But I won't get the CV with this mask on if I go out in public. Okay. I'm going to take this off.
Okay. Let's answer some more questions now. That was painful to wear. Maybe my head got bigger. I don't know what happened, but yeah, that thing fucking sucks. All right. Does it look like I just got in a fight? Good God. All right. Let's answer a few more questions here. I'm never doing that again. The fire rises. Yeah, the fire rises. Walking violence. Keanu Reeves' murderous rage impression. Whoa. That's all I have. Keanu Reeves, even when he's mad, isn't really raging out that much. He still seems really calm. Russell L. Waxon, opinion on female empowered movement in films. Do you think it's necessary, or is it ruining films, for example, Terminator Dark Fate or Charlie's Angels? Absolutely it is. When you give up the story for some kind of agenda, you're sacrificing the story and the quality of your film for some kind of message. And sometimes it's a little bit too heavy-handed. So yeah, it's like a new trend, and I don't know why they're doing it, because it's not selling more tickets at the box office. It's appeasing a small demographic of people who cry and complain about everything. If you look at Charlie's Angels, it's like clearly that agenda is not working anymore. No one wants to pay to see that. But, you know, having strong female lead roles, whoever wants to take credit for that in modern day Hollywood should go back and look at other films that did it right. T2 Judgment Day. Sarah Connor, she's a strong female lead role. Look at Alien. Look at Aliens. They've already done this, but better. Those are actually quality films where the script didn't sacrifice the script or the story for some watered down stupid... All right, let's keep going here. Don't get me on a rant. Cordless Cord, you think we are all be quarantined in our homes? You think we all will be quarantined in our homes? By force? Not yet. If things get terrible, maybe. If martial law goes into effect, you legally can't leave your house. You can't legally go to a store. So if it gets bad enough, that's a possibility. I hope it doesn't come to that. The thing is, right now, if everyone just does their part and self-quarantine at home, stay home, watch some movies, that'll help. That will truly help. Did you cry during any movies? If so, which ones? I almost cried during Onward. The ending of that movie almost made a tear trickle out of my eye. I love you, John. You're magical and mystical. Well, I love you too, man. Are you excited for Halloween Kills? Absolutely, I'm excited. I hope it's better than the last one that we got. I really do. It's sort of one of those movies where you think, why are you doing this to like self-destroy your own movie? Like, there were so many subplots. I thought the Dr. Loomis reboot character was what they did with him was really bad. Do you still do graphic design? Not professionally. The only graphic design I do is for myself. So all my logos, my graphics that I have on YouTube, I make and design. Really, that's where I utilize my graphic design skills at this point. Are all the bars and restaurants in Memphis, Tennessee, on Beale Street are still open? Crazy. Yeah, I remember. I think one of those restaurants or bars is like Kid Rock's restaurant or bar. It's just like, just shut down your bar for 2 weeks. Like, please, just do it for 2 weeks. All right, let's answer a few more questions. Make sure I didn't miss any of these questions. Dude, that Bane mask kicked my ass, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Jordan Carter. Favorite PH star? I don't get it. I think I know what you're going for, but all right, guys. Let's see if there's a few more questions. Come on, YouTube, load quicker. How many 4K Blu-rays do you have? I have... Actually, I organized all of those. They're right there on those two shelves. So I would say... 20, maybe 40, maybe 40 or so. I don't know. Feel free to count them. They're over here. It's those two shelves right there. Kind of getting hungry. Sort of want to make some pizza. How would you guys feel if I just put the I'll be back taking a break thing up for the next 30 minutes as I make a pizza, and then I'll come back and eat it and answer more questions? Would you stick around for that? All right, guys, we're almost at 3 hours. This is the longest live stream I've ever done. But thank you guys for joining me, and I do appreciate it. And I will make more videos. I have a lot of ideas I want to make, and with being stuck at home, I think now's the time, right? Gabe Escure, would an Invisible Man movie, but done comedy, dramedy work? Like a comedic... I think The Invisible Man would lend itself to a comedic style movie. Yeah, if you're not going to go the horror film route, I think a comedic Invisible Man movie could work. I still like the Kevin Bacon Invisible Man movie, Hollow Man. It's so weird. It's such an early 2000s movie. Do I have enough toilet paper? I do. I feel like I have enough toilet paper. I really do. Let's push it to 4. I don't know if I can take 4 hours, guys. This right, when you're reading everything and reading 6,000 questions and answering them all, your brain starts to start melting out of your head, it's dripping out of my ear right now. Do you wash your hands often? I probably wash my hands a little too often. I'm kind of a germ freak. The other day I spent like 3 hours cleaning our apartment with bleach. So yeah, I wash my hands often. If I could find latex gloves in the store, I would actually wear them when I go out into society. We'll melt with you, John. Okay, guys, I'm taking a few more questions. Make them count. Because I need to go eat, and then I'm going to pass out. That way I can make a video tomorrow for you guys. I've given you everything. Not everything. Not yet. How big is your sound bar? How big is your sound bar? I think it's like 340 watts. It's an LG sound bar, not too big. Nothing too impressive. These live streams are my new favorite thing. Well, thanks, Matthew. I appreciate that, man. And thanks for joining me, guys. They're my new favorite thing as well. This is, like I've said before, this is the reason I started YouTube, was the interaction. And once you do live streams, it's a culmination of everything I like about YouTube. So I rather enjoy it. Cordless Cordy, recommendations of movies to watch at home. We've talked about several movies you can watch at home. I would say right now, if you want to find your happy place and forget about reality on Netflix, go watch Back to the Future 3. Go watch Emmett Brown in the Wild West. It's a good time. Or what you could do, I did download Disney Plus the other day, and I watched The Three Musketeers from 1993. That's another movie I just felt like watching. I wanted to watch mindless, like, B-rate movies. That's what I was in the mood for. John Bain CV speech. Oh, gosh. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll throw that into an update video I'm doing for the Flickpick channel. Maybe I'll talk about that tomorrow. Make these live streams daily. I don't know if I'll make them daily because they do take a lot of time. But I don't know why I couldn't do at least a couple a week. It just depends. And it really just depends if anything big happens or I need something to talk about. Or I could just answer questions for 3 hours, whatever you want. Manuel, you know I can't. Manuel, thank you for the super chat. It's Alejandro. Oh, Alejandro. There you go. Thank you. Manuel Alejandro, thanks for the Bane moment. It's the least I can do, guys, for you guys joining me. I'll sacrifice my body just for you guys. John, send me your shirt. I will. I'll sign it too in my blood. John, talk about the ending to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Absolutely loved it. Up until that point, I was sort of going to give the movie like a B. But the ending to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the way it rewrites history, I thought was brilliant, and that's what made me give that movie an A. Russell L. Waxon, what happened to the Redbox project? Yeah, the Redbox project, I was emailing someone from Redbox, and they sort of fell into obscurity and disappeared, so I'm trying to get in contact with somebody. So I'm trying to make it happen. And yeah, I'm hoping I can do some of the Redbox videos I previously mentioned. We'll see, though. I think right now, if you went to a Redbox, right beside every Redbox should be like a 10-gallon bucket of hand sanitizer and a pair of rubber gloves. Rogelio Collison, in quarantine, all I need is the Flickpick channel. Well, thanks, man. Thank you for that. Well, technically, you're watching the John Flickinger channel, so just keep that in mind. Did you like the Hobbit trilogy? Not really. Talk about a two hour thing that was dragged out to 6 hours. All right, guys, I've answered a lot of these questions. Scott Sullivan, hey Scott, how are you doing? Speaking of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, have you seen Sergio Leone's Once Upon a Time in America? I have seen that. No one talks about that film, but that's a great mob film. The only thing I don't like about Once Upon a Time in America is the opening scene where the phone rings for like 10 minutes. There's something about phones ringing in movies that drives me crazy, and in that film it happens for 10 minutes, and you're just like, you almost want to skip forward past it. Hi, Lee Evans. Thank you for being a big fan. Have you seen Casino? Yes, I've talked about it multiple times. I prefer Casino over Goodfellas. Have you listened to Eminem's new album? No, I have not. That Once Upon a Time in America is long as AF. It's actually longer than this stream. So, thanks for the great time, John. Thank you, Patrick. John, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Least I can do, and thank you, Patrick, for the support, man. And thank you guys all for the super chats. Thank you guys. It really does help. and I appreciate it. So thank you. Fastest mile run? I don't know. In high school, I think I did like a 6-minute mile. I think something like that. I think it was 6 minutes. Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap up this live stream. It's been 3 hours and 7 minutes. I hope that was enough. I gave you everything I had tonight. I think I'm going to go eat some SpaghettiOs and pass out in the fetal position and watch a movie. But you know what? In the meantime, I hope you guys go watch something. Go watch something happy. Something that's magical and mystical. It takes you to a happy place, a fantasy world, whatever makes you forget about what's happening. That's what I would recommend watching. Or go watch Contagion and just get scared. Cliff Boyce with the last second super chat. What do you think about WrestleMania this year? I did talk about that earlier. I think they should just delay it and postpone it and take an off season. I don't want to see WrestleMania in front of no audience. That takes away from so much of it. That's like watching Avengers Endgame, but without the special effects. Not quite the same thing, right? All right. Thank you, John Gomez. Thank you, Russ Rogers. Thank you, Walking Violence. Seth Rogen is Thanos. Everything is like a perfect balance. Oh, yeah, that's all I got. I don't know. The impressions get worse as it gets later. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you so much. You guys killed it tonight with the great questions. As always, stay safe, guys. Wash your hands. Stock up on toilet paper. Stay inside. Stay away from society. Watch some good movies. And most importantly, make sure you subscribe. That way I can see you next time. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.